Hello, hello. What's up? How's it going, y'all? We are running it with a tournament today. We're gonna rip and run and we'll see what we can get done. Oh, and I immediately start off with getting a bye in round one, which is super exciting, I'm sure. We'll go in and we'll ask if we can join in on somebody's game and spectate them. Who do we got available? Should take a look at the bracket real quick. Okay. It's gonna be a good game. Tim vs. Elvio might be pretty good. Bowl and Navigator. Dang, let's go see about Bowl and Navigator. Alright, hopefully the bye doesn't mess up our chances of getting into the top four. We'll see, though. I'm not going to be too upset if I don't make it. I wasn't going to be playing anything super meta today anyways. Alright, cool. Bull's gonna hook us up here. So we'll back out. Get a little bit of a sneak preview of a build that I am curious as to whether or not it might work. I've been doing a little experimenting with old Kazrak there. He doesn't seem bad. He actually seems like he's been vastly improved. Maybe the cumulative changes for everything is gonna make it so that he's actually a little bit better. We don't need to actually join the lobby. Oops. Alright, we'll get away here. It's probably not Bull's build anyways, but it's going to be exciting to see some Warriors of Chaos action. It's not the most common choice for a lot of people. You know, they don't get a lot of love right now, which is a bit of a shame. They're amazing. I love them to death. But they're definitely a faction that's going to require some specialization from people before they're up there on the charts for real, because we'll go take a look at the big board. I'll show you what I'm talking about. They're just kind of in the pits right now. They have been for a little while, which is a bit of a shame. They're a lot higher than they were last season, where I think they were a bottom faction, right? Yeah, 37%, pretty sad. At least they're up over 40 now. And we'll see. You know, just a lot of newer players get on these guys, and a lot of very experienced folks don't really rep these dudes. Martinius is one of the few that plays Warriors of Chaos regularly. I've been thinking about picking them up some. They're just so damn hard to, like, nail down as a faction. They've got so much going on the roster that it just overwhelms the senses. Which is why I think they are kind of dwelling down here. It's because people don't really have a full handle and appreciation of just how versatile the roster is. So I think they can go toe to toe with just about anybody, man. Maybe they could stand to get like an additional mark, so they've got a few more options for their stuff, or they could just have it so that Lord and Hero marks don't count towards the actual unit total. That'd be really nice. Oh, Chaos Dowie versus Warriors of Chaos? Fuck yeah. This is going to be a banger match. Navigator and Bowl are both really good players. And we'll see what they're going to be whipping out to try and take each other down here. Map's Pit of the Everchosen as well, by the way. Which is the one that, if you watched my video from like a week ago, where I was playing Khorne versus High Elves, it's the one that I drew on with stingers. It's got the summons all around the map. And it's got the 3 objectives that are pretty evenly spread out. They're equidistant, I think, to the center where you deploy at. It gets really hectic really quickly. A lot of people don't engage right off the rip from the opening. Which, I don't know, man. I feel like there's definitely some factions that can get away with doing it. Most people seem pretty content to, like, back up and take a beat before they start getting fisticuffs on this map. But I do think that there's some serious juice with just going full heavy metal rush and trying to just hammer your opponent down, potentially. We'll see if either of these guys wants to go for it. Chaos Dowie probably won't, because they're not, like, the perfect faction for it. They've got some serious business with trains and stuff that might get kind of rowdy and be hard to control if they decided to go for it. Outside of that, though, most of their infantry and everything are just going to be waddling around, being kind of slow. Oh man, that's a juicy Chaos Dowie army. Very juicy, very beefy. Good spell options. Alright, guys. Boom. We're swapped over. These are the builds for the opening, as you can see. We've got a Baltor's character here. Very, very fighty character with lots of good magic. Searing Doom and Final Transmutation being the choices. Does have Infernal Engineer, which is interesting. We'll see if that comes into play. And I think that's only for artillery and war machines, not for Fireglaves and blunderbusses. It'd be really cool if it did help out these guys, gave them the reload skill and whatnot. Maybe that'd be just a nice little mix-up for the guys that have it. And then Warriors of Chaos, they're coming in with some pretty cheap infantry. They got a lot of throwing axes. Those throwing axes are going to have to do a lot of work, because I did see the reinforcements for the Chaos Dowie before I got in here. And Warriors of Chaos are going to have a little bit of a hard time, I think, with some of the elements in this build. But we'll see about it. If you get nice and aggressive out the rip here from Warriors of Chaos, they might be able to break down this Chowie front line before all of the really big, scary, nasty stuff can get in here. Because if Navigator does what I think he's going to do, and tries to build up a little bit before pushing, Warriors of Chaos might not be able to hang in there really well. Because throwing axes are nice, but there's certainly a handful of things that they struggle mightily against here. Infernal Fireglaive shooting and the blunderbusses. We do have the Granite Guard out here. Granite Guard, when they get that dig in going and they've got the extra range, they're actually pretty ferocious. They can do some serious damage. Look at the deploy zone, oh my god. Right up in each other's faces right now. We'll see how much they spread out here. We do have the Throwing Axe Corps just on the number 3 objective right now. I guess this is all Vanguard deployment here. It's very funky though. Not 100% sure how it all works. You know, I've only played on this map a couple of times, but I like to mix it in every now and then, just for people to experience it in full. So Granite Guard, they do have Suppressed also, which, you know, you fire this off when they've got the extra range. You've got a 30% debuff on speed, and you can actually just obliterate what's ever in their kill zone. That can be a little bit easier said than done to, like, actually set that up. You know, typically you're going to be waddling these guys around responding to stuff, but on this map, they might not be bad just to go hang out on an objective and lock something down for sure. Because you can support them pretty decently. I mean, Chaos Dowie don't have a ton of fast units, but they do have Wolf Raiders, Trains, and Bull Centaurs that can help them out. And, I don't know, I mean, taking the number 3 is never going to be a bad idea on this map. You know, this is where the deploy zones are pretty even for both sides. If you actually look at the home objectives, it's a little bit easier to attack them, the supposed home objectives of each side, because you get 2 deploy zones to your opponent's 1. I know you can just spam stuff out of them, but you can actually get a little bit of a collapse going here if you really wanted to out of your opponent's stuff there. Then you've got the same on the other side. You've got the random ones that are like right here, like eyeing each other down to dominate that high ground. I'd be really curious to see people play with some artillery on this map too. Dwarf Warrior hanging out here. Throwing axes can get after those guys, I think, if they really wanted to, but we'll see about it. They definitely don't want to sit here and take gunfire from these Fireglaves and the blunderbusses, which are opening up now. Blunderbuss is getting a nice volley off on the poor little Marauder Great Weapons. They're just getting tossed around, shot down. They don't have any missile resistance or any shields to mitigate that. Nice Sloupnir comes down. It's beautiful. That's the perfect kind of target for it. But I don't really think Valkia needs to be fighting the Bale Taurus character right now. I honestly don't like her for fighting this guy. He's very, very difficult to wear down. He's got great stats. He can beat up on Valkia pretty badly in a straight-up fight. She does have Demon Shield. Don't think it really got popped. She'd be better off landing on top of the Granite Guard and fighting them. They do have the AP weapons. They've got great weapons on their back here, you know, as you can see. And they can do some pretty good work against her, but kind of need to get all over her to shut her down, in my opinion. And the throwing axes, not having a lot to do right now. Nice Searing Doom. Landing on top of these Chaos Warriors with great weapons who are really wearing down the Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Na'Vi needs to get the blunderbusses back a little bit and set up, just like right back here. Just to fire down on these chosen great weapons and stay safe from the Chaos Warriors with the great weapons here. They're going to wear down the Chowie Warriors. And once that's done, you're going to be looking at these guys cleaning up one of your very expensive missile pieces, just by virtue of being right next to them. Although now that I say that, we do have some more dwarf warriors moving up. They're going to be getting on top of these guys, maybe making the difference for them. There we go. Navi recognizing the necessity of moving off, getting secure. Hellstriders of Slaanesh, they do get on top of the Iron Demon here. Maybe going to save these Chaos Warriors. You're just getting shot to pieces right now. Big casualties going down. And another Iron Demon makes an appearance, man. Lots of Iron Demon action so far. Oh, and the Chaos Knights screaming right up the pipe here. They're taking a nasty volley from the Granite Guard, but now that they're on top of these guys, they will actually win this combat. Bit of a whiff with the Searing Doom there. Definitely going to save these guys. They do still take some pretty nasty damage there, and they get rear charged by the Bealtor's character. Really nice response from Navi, actually. And breaking their leadership. Oh, brutal stuff, man. Really good answer to these guys getting on top of the missile line. And the Fire Glaives, they're just firing happy as can be. These throwing axes, man, they're not getting a lot of value right now. They're kind of wearing down this one Iron Demon, but getting blundered into the Goblin Laborers right now. Really nice response from Navi. And another Slaupner coming down, but Valkia is getting shot to death. Gonna be taken out here if Navi or if Bull isn't careful. And no heal, but some metal magic coming out here. Oh my god, this is probably going to be game here. Bull kind of blundering Valkia into the shooting lane of the Granite Guard here. And there she goes. She does get shattered. Big value lead coming in for Navi now. There are throwing axes. There are some pretty durable infantry out on the field. And the Granite Guard might be going down finally. They are getting collapsed on by the Hellstriders and the Chaos Knights, but both these units are very low, and this is a lot to have to commit into this fight. One good Searing Doom probably wears those guys out, but I don't even know if it's all that necessary. We do have the trains running over the Chosen. Chosen, how have they done? Haven't gotten a lot done. It's very that's not great for them. And it looks like a final transmutation coming out from the Warriors of Chaos, and the poor Prophet. The Sorcerer Prophet just runs right into it, takes some pretty nasty damage there, but does get on top of the Sorcerer of Metal. Gonna be beating up on him pretty badly. Forbidden Rod gets popped, so he's gonna be damaging himself as well. Train just about to go down here. Man, it's gonna take a little bit for Valkia to get off the field too. Oh, and Infernal Ironsworn go right for the #1 after some Hobgoblin Cutthroats. Looks like they came out onto the #2. And they're going to be moving up here. Man, Navi is playing this map really nicely. Doing a very good job of just taking objectives and holding on to them. Looks like the Warriors of Chaos might secure the #3 here, but they're pretty gassed right now. They've got the Horseman Corps. They've got lots of Marauders coming out. Oh, and some more Chaos Warrior great weapons, which is nice. The throwing axes are going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting here, man. They're doing okay now. They've gotten some pretty good value up to this point. Looks like they did wear down one of the Iron Demons. There is another one out here on the field, though. They're going to have to kill this thing. If the Warriors of Chaos are going to get back in this game. As it stands right now, they're just getting handled by Infernal Fireglaves right now. The Infernal Guard Fireglaves have been doing some fat damage. And another big final transmutation comes down. Doing some really nice work against both of these SEs here. But, oh man, just taking more big damage on the Metal Sorcerer, man. Losing the magic now. Oh, and he does shatter. Losing the magic. Another bad situation for Bull here. And you can see the bad leadership coming into play. Friends routing all across the field. And it's just adding on to the Lord having fled recently debuff. The leadership really starting to hammer against the Warriors of Chaos now. Forsaken do get on the Infernal Ironsworn. They're probably not going to win this matchup, though, although some armored Chaos Trolls might help out immensely. Infernal Ironsworn do have flaming attacks, so there is that on the table so that they can get through the region these guys have, but the 110 armor might be enough to spare the Trolls from the worst of the beatdown they'd be receiving otherwise. And I think they might be able to wear this stuff down, but all the while, Chaos Dowie do have the point, which is pretty terrible, objectively, for the Warriors of Chaos, because they are triple cap now. That's going to get out of hand real fast. There goes one of the Iron Demons, but there's a third Iron Demon, ladies and gentlemen. A third Iron Demon has appeared on Pit of the Everchosen. Looking to get after the infantry. Chaos Warriors are just getting pounded, man. Look at the Granite Guard and Fireglaives doing work, man. 2,600 on the Granite Guard. 1,800 and counting on the Fireglaves. Brutalizing the Infantry Corps for the Warriors of Chaos. Forsaken break. Trolls, they're surely going to break here in a moment. Now that they're alone, they don't have any buffering for the damage. They're starting to lose models as well. And these Infernal Ironsworn anchoring this objective is pretty filthy. They're just going to keep doing disgusting amounts of work here. Definitely could stand to get them free with the Hobgoblin Cutthroats taking this charge. And then using the blasting charges over the top just to do damage there. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Sorcerer Prophet of Metals just running around trying to stay alive, not take too much damage here. Has a decent chunk of HP left and pretty good value, 2,300 on that guy. How does Bull get back in this game, man? Like, there's being scrappy and there's being in the position you're in now where you got a bunch of units routing off. Very slowly, mind you, and a lot of these are infantry. You got Marauders, all these guys routing off. Very tattered infantry elsewhere on the field. And your home objective is very, very securely locked down by the Chowie right now. More Chaos Dwarf Warriors waddling up to it as well. Definitely not going to be doing you any favors. And a fourth Iron Demon makes an appearance, man. I love the Chaos Dwarf players who just commit fully to the Iron Demon action. One's rolling in from this flank. You've got the Panzer Divisions looking to complete the encirclement here. It's going to be running right into the Trolls. We'll see how the Trolls do against this thing. Iron Demons, you know, they can actually get some damage in on Trolls with their melee attack. You know, Trolls have pretty poor melee defense. 32 isn't the worst, but it's nothing to shout out, really. And these guys do have good weapon strength, so they might be able to kill some models here. Do they cause terror? They do cause terror also. So, our Trolls might break here if their leadership gets too unmanageable, which would be pretty bad. Got some pressure on the objective back here. Although the Chaos Knights, looks like they took a Searing Doom, I would guess. Yeah, big value jump for the Sorcerer Prophet, so Chaos Knights taking the worst of that there. Against the against Dwarf Warriors, man, they're just not heavy hitting enough. They don't have the AP to make it happen, in my opinion. Looks like the Infernal Ironsworn, man, they're still hanging in here. They've taken quite a bit of damage now, though, and the Chaos Great Weapons doing their best, but the double Iron Demon here is probably going to wear them out. One's made a bit of a loop off. Is coming back in now. And I don't think the Trolls are going to rally anytime soon. We're going to need a Valkia resummon or something to take out the Prophet of Metal and then just somehow grind back onto the number 3 and the home objective. But I do think the Dowie have this. Bold is going to play the rope out, but really doesn't have much of an avenue left at this point. Just summoning out all of these infantry. Chosen Great Weapons. I don't love the choice here. Iron Demons are just going to flatten these guys. You can see the Iron Demons chasing away the Throwing Axe Horsemen. Oh my god, look at the fat damage. Oh, that's brutal, man. Iron Demons just shotgunning these guys into oblivion right now. Breaking, or shattering one of the Horsemen. Other one up here might rally. That's a good attempt on a timing for the Searing Doom. Doesn't actually get the damage on the Chaos Knights, though. But Chaos Knights are going to suffer the same fate here. You know, those shotguns do just as much good work against them as it does against the Skirmish Cav. Oh, Bull Centaur Renders coming out with their great weapons. They're going to chop down the Chaos Knights if they get into combat there. They can go run over some of the other units on the field. They can go hammer the Marauders and the Throwing Axes if they can get on them. Sorcerer Prophet needs to be a little careful here. Oh, Hellstrider's coming out. Hellstriders might be able to catch him. We'll see. They get on him. They are surrounding him now. Are they going to be able to drag him down, though, is the question. One more good Searing Doom will probably free him up. We'll see if there's any more magic on the table, though. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice one. Gonna peel, since our renders are collapsing as well anyways. And that's gonna be game. Very well played by Navi. Getting great value out of the Granite Guard and the Fire Glaives, who just absolutely locked down that side objective. The middle, quote-unquote. Good value on the Sorcerer Prophet. Really well played there. Valkia got good work done while she was available, but as often happens with poor Valkia, she just got gunned down unceremoniously by the good focus fire, man. That's what Demon Shield is for. I know you want to go fight the Metal Prophet, but I think you're better off diving her onto missile lines where she can do a little bit of damage and lock something down for a prolonged period of time. And then if your opponent is chasing her with the Metal Prophet and stuff like that, then you can actually respond a little bit easier for yourself. Because he's not going around terror routing all your stuff, your front line can grind a little longer. And then you can maybe attract Iron Demons and other stuff too, and then your final transmutations on your own caster are going to do some really good work. And I didn't see a lot of Searing Dooms from Bowl either. Searing Doom would have punished the missile line really nicely. Just needed to play a little more cagily around that. You do have the rest of the battlefield to work with. As I said, Pit of the Everchosen, you can push the home objectives really nicely. You just want to pull apart that Chaos Dwarf army instead of fighting it head up where you're just going to get shot to death. Want to see some Khorne action? Man, I would love to see that. I'm not casting the games, I just have a bye this first round. Scarbrand. Yeah, facing... Dude, the trains are vicious, Bompy. A good Chaos Dwarf player can get some really disgusting work done with them. And they didn't get great value in that last match, but they oftentimes don't really need to. Just coming out and being a terror-causing unit and rolling through the front line is more than enough. And you can see the kind of work they can do in the late game against Skirmisher Cav. You know, because they got 120 range on those shotguns that they've got on the front, so they can just slowly chase stuff down. But if you're going to do that, you need to have them together, where they can counterfire for one another. It's not a very good idea to use one train to chase down Missile Cav, but in tandem, they can make it happen. Via Anime and Mikey 5-0 are the last match here. Falling Star beat Martin. That's a pretty good matchup there. That was another one I was thinking about casting. I don't know who they're playing today. Falling Star has been playing a lot of different stuff than just Skaven as of late. Yeah, buddy. Rusto is on Beastmen as well. Via Anime is on Norska, actually. Oh, and another Lizardman showcase from Falling Star. Hell yeah, man. So as soon as this is done, we'll see about getting into a match. Did I give myself the Swiss point for the bye? I did. Okay. So, Boss Toss, Tim the Wilder, Rusto, Falling Star, Navigator, Sternguard, and Scarbrand Chan. Thank you for showing out for Khorne, Scarbrand. I appreciate it, man. Hell yeah. Who'd you play the first game? Oh, Attack Speed Enjoyer. Hell yes. Is he playing his Wood Elves? Because if he is, thank you for beating him down. Oh, it's beautiful. Do you have the replay of your matchup against the Wood Elves there? Send it to me real quick. I'd love to see it. I'm trying to get as much info on the Wood Elf Khorne matchup as possible. Yeah, send me that replay. Hell yes, thank you, brother. Let me drop it in here. If we have time between rounds, we'll check this one out. Because Wood Elves are pretty tough for Khorne. They're not an easy matchup for sure. I want to see how Skarbrand plays it. It ended in 3 to 5 minutes? Oh my god, how'd you manage that? Attack speed's a really good player, so that's well done. I gotta give you mad props for that. Well, we'll just go ahead and watch it then if it's that short of a matchup. Let me just whip this into my replay folder real quick. We got I got another one that I grabbed from somewhere, I guess. Yeah, we'll overwrite the autosave. Check on the match. Alright, it's not over yet. We'll go ahead and do this quick replay. Just for a laugh. I have got to see... Oh my god. What the fuck am I looking at? Wow, honestly, Skarbrand, this build is beautiful in its simplicity. Oh my goodness. I can see how it ended so quickly now. Alright guys, we're about to watch the biggest smackdown of all time coming in here. Wood Elves are going to be going toe-to-toe against the Chaos Knight, Skarbrand, and Karanak Swarm. Immediately right off the rip, we get Prey the Blood God going down. Durthu getting locked in combat here. Going fisticuffs with some very scary duelist characters. You know, magical weapons are locked down, but Karanak's locking down all of the abilities that Durthu has access to, and negating his own magical damage that he does, which is pretty amazing. I honestly love it. Chaos Knight's really well microed, getting right on top of the Hawkeyes of Drakira, just kind of running over all of the Wood Elf stuff here in this blob, and killing Durthu right off the bat is going to start becoming a big issue for the Wood Elves here. We'll see if they actually finish him. That's a really nice use of Rage Embodied to keep him locked in combat a little longer. The Waste Stalkers really don't have much of anything to do right now. They're getting locked down by the Flesh Hounds. Man, oh man, look at this. Durthu, you know, Durthu puts the beat down on just about everything in melee combat, but Skarbrand with Karanak underfoot are just munching on the heroes right now. Absolutely tearing into the Waste Stalkers. Brutalizing these guys. Is there any life magic to come out and try and save them? I mean, there doesn't look like it. Attack speed is just banking up supplies, trying to find some way to secure all these units. Oh, and there we go. Doing a really good job of pulling apart all the spears. Attack speed not being disciplined enough to keep them in positions to block. And the Hawkeyes of Drakira have been fully compromised by the Chaos Knights now. They're going to go down for the count there. Durthu, on his last legs, very low. Oh, it does manage to keep him alive. Just able to save that guy, but the Wild Hunters of Kurnus get intercepted by some Chaos Knights, Karanak, Skarbrand, Flesh Hounds, throwing axes, Warhounds, everything being thrown at the wall, trying to rip these guys apart. And look at the damage, dude. Oh my god. Brutal, brutal stuff. Wood Elves getting absolutely run over right now. They're very expensive. Elite Cav there. Gets manhandled in no time flat by the mobility of Khorne. Karanak and Skarbrand back on top of Durthu with throwing axe support just to get that extra bit of damage. brutal. There goes the big hardwood. That's pretty much game at this point. I can see where this just gets conceded there. Oh my god. Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, you hate to see it. Poor Wood Elves, man. That was nice, dude. That was an awesome build. Like, just super aggressive right out the gate. And getting all over your opponent, giving them no room to breathe. That's the beauty of the Blood God right there, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Advancing the Swiss. Hold on to your butts, folks. We'll be seeing who I'm going up against. The breakers and everything can often give you some weird matchups. We're going up against Via Anime. Via's on Norska, and I'm playing Beastmen, so this is going to be pretty hard. Oh my god. Not very excited for this matchup. What do I bring here, man? I don't know, but we're gonna figure it out. I'm not gonna stress it too badly yet. Where is our boy? This is one of the few matchups that I think might really and truly just be brutally untenable for Beastmen. You just got so much light armor going up against these Norskins, man. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to play this. I'm going to leave y'all out here. I'll let y'all take a peek at bracket. There you go. While I build my army. Okay. Got a little bit of an idea here. These gonna be any good? No, they're gonna get ripped up. These guys might be a little better, though. One of these. Don't know about them. And a big boy? Or more width? Alright, I mean, this is certainly a build for the ages, at the very least, going up against Norska. If it'll be any good, I really am not super confident in it. but maybe it can make something happen. It'd be so nice if Beastmen had access to like a rampage of some kind. That would be really awesome for them. They could do so much work with it. That is an option. Is it worth it, though? I just don't know. Nah, I'm gonna be disciplined. I think what I've got is gonna be the answer for this matchup here. Last unit, sure. We'll go deep into that. So, for all intents and purposes, this is our round 1 for the day. It's going to be a pretty tough time. Yeah, I've been playing Slaanesh. Rampage is fun, dude. Being able to lock people in, force engagements is awesome. Oh god, you got you got Tim. Nah, just cook up another build like you did last time, bro. You got it. You can do it. Tim is human. Tim is beatable. Anybody can beat anybody any given day. I fully believe that in this game. Confidence is 90% of a victory. Alright, Via is still working on builds, so we'll just chill for a minute. Dude, I'll leave you there. Yeah, surely Tim lets you snipe his lord within the first 5 minutes. You never know. You never know. Maybe he does. I would be pretty shocked to see Tim do that. That's not a mistake that he's often gonna make. If ever, man. See, Tim is just, like, so consistent, knows the ins and outs of the game. He knows very much what is and isn't, like, maximally efficient. What is he playing? Oh, he's playing, wait, is he playing... No, he's playing Dark Elves. Damn, dude. Let me know how it goes, Scarbrand. Keep me posted, bro. And best of luck. We've all got to fall to the Dark Lords of the Warhammer community at some point. Here we go. Last time Tim lost a game was the 24th. Look at that. When your wins and loss ratios are this many green. Look at this, dude. Oh my god, how many games is this in a row? Just casually winning like 20 Dom matches straight. That's pretty beautiful stuff. And look at the people he's beating too, like Charix, Blood Penguin, you know, Subutai, Turin, Dustman, just like all kinds of people up here who are really, really skilled players. Oh, I beat Housecat too. Can anyone stop this man? He's already got 5 tourney wins. He's got plenty of juice left to get some more. Alright, I'll flip y'all back over as soon as Via's done army building. He's taking a little bit of time, which is all fine. Good by me. If Tim wins this, he'll be right up here with Boss Toss and Scrambled Egg. Oh, Harrison got another tournament win. Hell yes. So, Harrison, Outer Region, rounding out the top 5 with Boss Toss, Scrambled Egg, and Tim. And after that, we've got Blood Penguin, Elvio with 2 tourney wins. Let's go, man. Via, Martin, Attack Speed, Poison, Rusto, Hitman, Soli. Soli is going to get farther up here. Soli just doesn't play in a lot of tournaments right now, but has been grinding practice games out, I've seen. And I'm down here with Alexander. We're trying to find our first tourney win. Turin's right here beside me. We're like, I don't know. Turin and I have had some crazy scraps. Every time we go up against one another in bracket, it gets really wild. Alright. Here we go, guys. We're on Creeping Swamp. It's a pretty decently favorable map for both sides here. We'll be aggressive with our deployment. We are in serious danger because Burning Heads are always on the table against Norska, and it is an incredibly brutal spell to get hit by as Beastmen. They've got better mobility. They've got... I don't know about better lords, but they've certainly got some seriously fighty dudes on the table for lord options. We'll have to see what we can make work here. We've got Flock of Doom and Enfeebling Foe. We'll be trying to keep those popped and going off at all times. Don't have the Vigor recharge passive from the lures. I just like to bring Unholy Power so I can get more magic on the table as quickly as possible. And we're just going to go dominate the... I don't know, man. We might try to take the 2 and the 3 here. I think playing right here will be a little bit better for me. I can creep infantry up out of the tree and keep them on the edge. I can have some missiles here in the woods and kind of box out to keep those guys safe. And they can maybe control the number 2 as well. I need to keep my missile units alive. They're going to be my key to victory. Koroks, they'll creep up slowly. And they'll find something to do for sure. We're going to see how these guys do. I haven't brought them before. I've played around with the regular Bestigor herd, and they actually hit pretty damn hard. I really like the performance of them, and I feel like maybe Koroks Man-Rippers, if there's a matchup that they can do good work, might be this one. Gorbals are chilling. I didn't bring any chariots. I really love chariots for Beastmen, but here against all the Skinwolves and Ice Hounds and all the other nastiness, I don't think I'm going to have a mobility advantage. Alright, Via's ready. I'm ready. We'll let it ride. Yeah, big force coming down on me. Marauder Horsemen, no Horse Masters. We do have the Firecaster, of course. Throg is on the table. We got lots of Marauders. But, you know, our front line's not going to be, like, dog shit or anything. It should be able to scrap a little bit. We'll start getting Bowfire in here. He's doing a really good job of poking out, staying away. My guys don't have shields either, so that's going to hurt for sure. Beasts of Tashanar, they're coming in. Push up our Zangors a little bit. We'll keep these guys nice and safe in the woods. Let's put all these missiles and stuff on guard mode. He hasn't really taken any damage. He's just getting out here with the skirmish cav and avoiding the worst of everything right now. What do I bring up first, man? I'm gonna actually bring up the Minos here with the great weapons. Koroks can park here. We'll see about it. We might be able to get some decent damage onto the infantry that are creeping up here. He's going for the number 1. We're just gonna play patient. I don't need to push up really. Tuck these guys back a little bit so they don't just get killed for free. I'm gonna play aggressive with the Gorbals and see how that goes. Now I can just deploy everything out of the Vanguard. Alright, he's gonna pull back. He doesn't want the smoke right now. We'll build up our own skirmish corps. There's the War Shrine Mammoth. Oh yeah, baby. War Shrine Mammoth's gonna be pretty hard to deal with. Let's get up here and maybe start casting some Flocks of Doom. That got me some pretty decent value. They did run out of range, though. That sucks, man. Really good dodge. We'll pull the Gorbals out. Gorbals are actually pretty good at just charging stuff. They do some pretty serious damage, and I don't know why this guy's chasing. Should have been a little bit safer with it. Let's get the throwing axes forward. And now we can start getting a little more aggressive on his points, his units. Let's get the Gorbal Secret Service away a little bit and creep up some. There's the Burning Heads. We dodged it for the most part. Let's just hope it doesn't rotate into our archers and stuff. Pulled me apart a little bit. Let's creep these guys forward. We'll do some bow fire. We'll throw in here. We'll get a side charge here. Let's charge these guys down, actually. We'll pop a Flock of Doom on these guys just to get the damage. Wow, we flattened those Marauders, man. That's brutal stuff. Alright, here come the Horsemen. We're going to counterfire the shit out of these guys now. Just keep bringing more stuff up. We'll bring these guys forward. We'll get after Throg here. We'll shoot these Spearmen. Get after these guys. We need the Minotaurs to answer Big Boy there. Enfeebling Foe is going to go down. We'll come over here with all of the Senties. Did a really good job of getting into the backfield here. He's killing one of my units. 2 of my Ungor herds do go down. Losing the Ungor Raiders sucks, but we might be okay here. We'll push up some. Use the Zangors to buffer damage now. Pull these guys back and get forward. The Gorbals, they're doing okay work against Big Boy here. Senties, I'm going to send in. I need to start hammering home a little bit. I need to save my ass. We're getting run over a little bit in the front line currently. Just need to get my guys safe. See if the Gorbals can kill Throg here. If they can kill Throg, that would be absolutely huge. We're just gonna keep popping Enfeebling Foe on them. We'll pull out the Senties now. Senties need to stay off of Marauder Spears. If they can do that, then I think we got a pretty good situation for ourselves. He's just got tons of horsemen out. Another Burning Head coming down, doing pretty good work. We're just gonna hound out the this big boy here. We're gonna rally in with all this garbage. Minos can stay safe. We'll keep the Zangors engaged there. Hounds and stuff getting around our flank. We'll send some poison hounds to deal with them. Oh, and we got our own little situation developing over here. Let's see what we can do here to save all this. Start wearing down the War Mammoth, and we'll get the Minos over here to help out. Are these guys gonna survive over here? I'm not so hopeful. Beast of Tashnar coming in now. He did a really good job of baiting me in, man. This is bad. Like, all of my stuff over here is pretty trapped up. Oh, he actually pulled out. He pulled out of combat here. That's huge. That's absolutely huge for me. Let's get over here and support. Synthes can go hammer home. Pull these guys out. We'll charge in there. Charge in here. Fire in here. Shoot here and support. Korok's Man Rippers are going to come across and help. And we did not win this fight somehow. The hounds just killed my my warhounds, unfortunately. Take the charge. Screw it. Go here. Try and win this fight. The Beasts of Tashnar are shredding my stuff right now, which is very painful. And Via's playing a very cagey game right now, doing a really good job of just, like, ripping me apart. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill Throg either. Pop this here. Maybe this gets me in a position where I can start wearing all these guys down. He's just bringing out swarms of infantry as well. Marauders with great weapons are going to be pretty effective against the Korok's Man Rippers. We're keeping them pushed off here. We do have hounds that are about to compromise my Ungor herd. Another pretty bad situation for me. I've got a lot of stuff here that's just like not doing anything currently. We'll use Senties to try and sweep some. We'll bring up a Gore herd. We did break this position pretty nicely. He's got trolls coming in. He's peppering me with a lot of fire right now. Let's resecure here. Fire in here. Let's go back here. We'll see what we can do about the War Mammoth now. We do have the objectives still. We're not doing badly in that regard. We need to be doing a little bit better, though. We're going to get after the big boy. I think we can bait him into like a big engagement here that's not going to go super in his favor. I think we bring up more infantry now just to hold points. We need to get past the big guy here. Gorbul Secret Service is going to go back here and beat up on the Mammoth. We're going to stay safe. Not going to overextend. Just keep using the Ungor Raiders here to do damage. Try and protect them all. Doing our absolute damn near level best. He's going to come in here. Now we can disengage. This is where our infantry comes into play. Korok's Man Rippers are going to go here. We're going to pop a disgusting Flock of Doom. Oh, this is the one. This is the one that's going to help out a lot here. He's committed to a very big push here. Korok's Man Rippers are in a good position to just hold down the nastiness there. We are beating the Mammoth up now. He's got Norscan Warhounds coming in. Collapse on these guys. Make sure that we finish. What do we have else around the field? We need to go here. We need to go over here with these guys. Are they fighting anything scary? Not really. Just hold here. Come back here. Fight here. Hammer in there. Come over here. Chase that thing down. We'll just pop this here just to finish. We need to kill the War Shrine Mammoth, but it's not going super well right now. That thing is so beefy. I'm not quite able to finish. Me and not being able to finish. LOL. Get over here. Come on, guys. This is just a big shit show right now, quite honestly. If we can focus down the War Mammoth, we'll be okay. I'm fully convinced. Alright, he missed the Burning Head. Please don't get hit by that. He's getting Beast of Tashnar back through. Oh my god, this is so chaotic. I mean, I can barely tell you what's going on right now. We are somehow winning this, though. I can tell you that. Alright, let's debuff the Skin Wolves here. And just commit to a fight against them. And we'll actually send in Mally as well. He can actually do damage to those guys. Sentis and stuff are just going to come forward, and we're just going to keep breaking all of these units here. He does have the Mammoth rallying back there. He's got some units creeping up here. Honestly, I think another Ungor Raider is going to be nice for me. Creep these guys forward too. Need to unsummon all of our units that are just so beat to hell right now. We got a lot of stuff that's very low currently. Oh, and we broke the back of the Norskins here, I think. I don't know if he's going to be able to get back in this game at this stage now. We've actually managed to kill a lot of his very impactful units here. Turn around and we'll fire in. We've got a horde going after the Mammoth, and we'll get after the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire. Via didn't get great casts off for the fire magic, which has kind of been saving my ass here. We're just going to slowly hound out Throg there. Collapse in there, we'll collapse in here, we'll send the Korok's Man Rippers in. They didn't do amazingly, but they did actually buffer a lot of stuff out for me, which is awesome. We are going to win this fight if we just stay committed to it, I think. Alright, he's getting away now. We'll leave the Zangors here as bait and see if he wants to commit to that. He never capped this objective either, which is pretty painful for him. And yeah, just peppering arrow fire is going to win this game for me, I think. Koroks, let's go, bro. They're going to anchor here with what's left of their HP. We'll send the Sentis down there to finish. And we did shatter Throg. We'll leave them to just slowly rat off the field now. You know, if you get your opponent's Lord in a position like this, where they're, like, barely hanging in leadership-wise, then you don't have to do anything fancy. Just hang in here. We'll take the damage on the nose. Whatever. Get down out of the woods here. Hammer home. Bring over our other Ungor Raiders. Just need to be safe with Mally. Kill that big-ass mammoth. I'm tired of those things running me over. We're not trading super efficiently over there, but we don't really need to. I'm going to just bring out more Sentis. I think at this stage of the game, what we're going to be doing is hammering home more than anything. We did shatter these guys back here. Let's just run away. We'll do what we can. Actually, we'll just take the fight. Screw it. We're going to break the Marauders here. We're going to pull back here. Take this damage here. Just keep wearing all this stuff down. He's got another wave of units coming in. We've got 3 objectives. We can cut that down to 2 for sure. No point in, like, hanging on to what we've got right now, per se. Fight, fight, shoot, shoot. Collapse, collapse. Win this fight. And form up to take charges and stuff. President Gorbel can move over. These Minos have been doing me great work, man. They got 1,700 value for me. That's beautiful. Chase the Beast of Tashnar. We've shattered and broken his back now. Oh my god. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, the Beastmen immobility build. When have you seen that do it? That was a great match, man. Yeah, well, your execution, no, Scarbrand. Our boy didn't make it, unfortunately, but we feasted pretty good. One of our Gorbals got the crap beaten out of him by Skinwolves and stuff. Malagor did really nicely going fisticuffs in that game. I think I just need to be more aggressive with him when I bring him, honestly. And Ungor Raiders, they did their work, man. They just peppered with arrows and forced engages, which is awesome. And look at the Centaurs with throwing axes, man. 1,700, 900, 1,600 here. Some of them weren't super efficient, but just across the board, we got pretty good value out of the mobility game, man. Did pretty good. The Hounds weren't really worth anything. And the Minos, Minos heavy lifting for you. You love to see it. Why bring many Mino when few Mino do good, right? Okay. We'll go report. We're probably the last match to have finished here. Where are they? Beastmen. I'm just completely blanking out on where they are here. There they are. Thankfully, Norsko's right there next to him. Oh, and we'll give our point to attack speed for the buy round. I need to go check my messages. What's up? Old and Washed is dropping, so let's do that before we advance the round. Let me let everybody know. Give me a sec, guys. Just doing some admin work. Close that. Make sure that it's showing properly. Here. I'll let y'all tag along on this journey. So, attack speed should have 1 point. Yep, I gave it to him. That's nice. Where is Old, Tired, and Washed? Did it drop him appropriately? Yes. When I advance, it should auto-adjust the bracket. If it doesn't, we'll do something about it. Okay, it did. Sweet. And we're playing Rusto, so it's a Beastman matchup. Beastman Mirror is going to be really interesting to see. And knowing Rust's playstyle, who knows? Who knows? He really loves the Senti spam, which I can respect. Cool. And Random Cuban dropped us a replay also, which is really nice. Chaos Knights with Lances have 80 charge bonus with Devastating Flanker increased to 160. Yup, it does. It's really fat. Slanesh is one of the factions that can really make the Chaos Knights with Lances look really scary. And I believe that theirs is is still 80, just like the other ones, right? Yep. Boom. That's this one, right? Yep, okay. What do you do in the Beastmen mirror match? What the fuck even is this gonna look like? I'm so curious, man. God, this is gonna be weird. Oh well. I feel your rust. Don't worry about it, man. It's a good mirror match, at the least. How does Boss Toss have 3 points already? What is going on there? Oh, because his opponent dropped, so it thinks it's a bye round in the first game. That's so dumb. Here we go. Gonna knock Boss Toss Bass back a peg. Alright, there we go. Now it's reflecting appropriately. Man, Rusto's been beating up on some seriously good players. Who's he beaten? He beat Tom. Alright. And then Falling Star. Very cool. And now since he's fighting me, that's another 2 Swiss points for him, I guess. Makes sense. We'll see how far we can take this. I don't know how I'm going to do in the mirror here. There's definitely some stuff I could try out. We might just be doing an experimental build here. Since we're going up against Beastmen. I kind of want to see, a little something, something. Maybe. Pretty quick. Pretty lightly armored. Is this something? I actually think this is a terrible, terrible starting army. What is this guy gonna do? Huh. Probably nothing. Maybe just a little bit of that. Bring him on the chariot. See, the thing I'm worried most about is his skirmish potential against mine. Trying to get myself set up to where I feel like I've got my bases covered. I'm not just letting my ass, like, hang out in the breeze for him to just take advantage of. Oh yeah, and this is not the map that we're on. What map are we on again? Geyser Bluff, yes, okay. Geyser Bluff will be a pretty decent map for this showdown. Alright. Ready when my opponent is. Good luck, good luck. He's not ready. Okay. Russ is still figuring it out. We'll just give him time. No rush. I'm going to do one last minute adjustment to my army. Here we go. Let's see it. We've got very bossy boys here. We did bring Kazarak. I want to see how he does. I've been playing around with him a little bit. He's actually a pretty fun lord, honestly. I have pretty comparably sized armies, so that's definitely of note. We'll see just how juicy they both are. We're gonna use the Zangors, actually, right here on the flanks. Tuck them in, though, a little bit. We're gonna have a very compact initial formation. And, you know, you would think you might want to deploy, like, here. I actually like deploying in the opening here, and then you push to the objective from across, rather than just going, like, right up the middle here. It's a little bit shorter of a distance here, but your opponent, you get narrowed through this funnel pretty badly. Which, you know, I don't know. To me, it doesn't really seem like I want to. I can always anchor against this if I want, but I think I'm gonna just, like, position one edge here, and the other right there with the formation of infantry. We'll use the Blood Brute Behemoth to beat up on any big stuff he might have. We do have some, we do have magic in the Vanguard, of course. As well as we've got Chaos Spawn and a Feral Manticore. Most of my stuff is Vanguard, obviously, and Beastmen just have so much freaking Vanguard. This map, Vanguard's a little less impactful than on others. So, we'll be seeing about it over the course of the grind. He's got the Minos, he's got the Gore Herds, he's probably got a bunch of Vanguarded stuff as well. I'm not afraid to tip my hand a little bit. He did bring Gore Herd in the opening, which I really don't hate, you know, for him. Not a bad idea. He brought a bunch of Minotaurs with great weapons, and he brought a Doom Bull, hell yeah. Doom Bull is very cool. We'll see if Kazarak can get anything done. It's going to be a little tough for him because there's so many Minos on the field to open up here. I'll actually keep these guys together. Come on, put them in the same group, please. There we go. I'm going to move up over here. He's got the Grog Hooves coming out first. That's fine. They're the Ungor Spear Herds. We're actually going to run these guys over a little bit. Just to bait. Nah, we won't do it. And there's his missile line, actually. We'll pull back ours. Just a hair. We'll fire in here. He's loading up in the forest, I think, and he is kind of surrounding a little bit here. With some of these guys. They're pushing. Really nice damage in the early game here from him. If this guy would just move, that'd be so nice. What are we bringing first? I'm gonna bring some Sentis in. Just a hammer. Hammer and anvil a little bit. We took a little bit of damage, but we're shooting, we're getting pulled out of formation because our guys are just running forward brainlessly. Just a bit of a feels bad. But we'll re-secure them nicely. We're gonna get in here with the heroes and start running stuff over, doing our best at least. Doom Bull is kind of making my front line cry a little bit. Pull out. He's coming in here for sure. Get on top of the Grog Hooves there. Need to be careful. He's gunned down, he's gunning down my Ungors really nicely. I'm not, enveloping him the way he is me. He's kind of pushing through on top of me right now. Blood Brute Behemoth is out of position. I just fumbled my Centaurs right into the heart of him again. I'm not punishing his, infantry swarm very well at all right now.
The enemy has captured one of your victory points. Take it back.
And Kazarak just doesn't really have much of anywhere to go right now. We'll see how this goes. Push up through here. I need my Ungar Raiders to actually get safe, which I don't think is happening. And I'm just not, I'm not as on top of my micro as I really need to be. He's overwhelming me right now. I don't think I have the juice and the numbers to make this happen here. He's folded up my flank really badly. God, Vildside is so short range, man. It's brutal. Didn't get much of an impact there. I don't know why old Gorgon isn't really doing much of anything right now. Yeah, he's all over me. I think this is GG already. I've kind of fumbled my lord into. Yeah. I don't think there's anything to play out there. I'm just getting folded up, and he's got all the answers that I don't have any juice for. I lost my Ungar Raiders really early, blundering my Sentis around, not really doing much of anything with them. And he's just kind of grinding me out, which is pretty painful. Big value on the Minos, too, man. Ouchies. Yeah, I memed myself into the sun. That was bad. GG, Rusto. I should have just brought something a little more traditional, I think. Probably just do Malagor. Malagor's really good in this matchup, I think. I mean, he's got Flock of Doom, so he can just suck the life out of all of his Ungor Raiders. And I could have kept mine a little safer. I just kind of threw them all forward. He pulled out of range and drew them in really nicely, and then I didn't do a very good job of answering that at all. I think the Gorbals are a pretty good unit here also. They hit really hard. They're not super expensive. And they could have beaten up on his Doom Bull pretty nicely. So, we'll be back for our revenge. Getting folded up like that happens on occasion, especially when you're messing around like I was. I wasn't being nearly respectful enough with the build. Bring your own Minotaurs. Butchers of Kalkengard, I feel like, are okay here. With the Silver Shields. They can avoid the worst of the damage from Ungor Raiders shooting at them. I probably could have actually used Spawn in my opening army to some pretty good effect. Just to countercharge his Minos as they try to push in. And then actually focus down his missile line better. Like I said, with Malagor. What else? Ungor Spearherd, they kind of got folded up too. They didn't do too hot. Gorherd with shields might have been a good answer, or a good option. with double Gorbel. Bring one Zangor. I don't think you need the Zangors. I think just a Gore Herd, just to like clear his infantry out, would have been better. Then you've got those guys in the opening, so they don't have to waddle forward slowly. You bring Max Sentis. I do think throwing axes are pretty good here. I didn't really have any in my build. Probably only need one Mino Great Weapon. What else do you bring? Razor Gores ain't bad, but there's not a lot of armor on the other side of the Beastmen roster, so could probably save there. I think one Zangor in reserve is a good idea, just to go anchor a point. Force your opponent to bring stuff up that can deal with them in melee, and then you can punish. More spawn. I really think something like this would have done a lot better for me. I could have gotten a lot more aggressive on his force as well. As it stood, he just kind of got to walk right into me for free and flatten me pretty nicely. My spawn are so vulnerable to missiles, man. They just get pounded. Maybe the Incarnate Elemental. It doesn't have amazing armor, so it's pretty squishy. But just to do damage to everything around it might not be bad. I don't know, man. We'll see about it sometime. I'll get an opportunity to play that matchup again. We'll back out of here and we'll go check out the replay Random Cuban sent me. Alright, so LVO versus Random Cuban. We got Empire, we got Tzeentch. Creeping Swamp is the map, and what's this guy on? Oh, he's on his little horse, I think. That's cool. With Pigeon Bombs, we've got a Lightcaster for the nets. What does LVO have on this side? We'll have to see when we get in match. It's not letting me see right now with the tooltips. Let's go. So yeah, Master Engineer has the restock and Pigeon Bombs. Gonna be trying to give this Archer line more ammo and stuff. We've got a ton of State Troopers, lots of spears, swords, and whatnot, as well as the Pistolier Corps. Random Cuban loves the Pistoliers, and look at how wide this Tzeentch army is. Lots of Zangors, or some Zangors moving up, a few here in the front line as well. And you've got the Marauders of Tzeentch, lots of Pink Horrors. Pink Horrors are very good at shooting Archers. Archers have lower range and a lot worse DPS. So they'll do pretty nicely. Sword of Change for the Spawn Summon. Pink Fire to clear lightly armored things. And Infernal Gateway just to hammer any heavily armored knights or great swords or what have you that the Empire wants to bring out. Hockland Long Rifles are going to be moving up here too. And we'll be seeing how this plays out, man. It's going to kick off real quick here. Pink Horrors can definitely fire against the Pistoliers as they go across, but just jockeying for position instead to get up here to deal with the Archers, I think. There's some early damage coming in here. That grenade launcher from the Master Engineer is pretty good, man. It does a lot of damage. It's very hard hitting. Tzeentch Caster getting shot up a little bit here. Definitely should pull back and just avoid the damage on this guy. Really beautiful pink fire, though. Look at the damage it just did. Took half HP off the archers and the spearmen here. We've got a full-throated volley coming in here from the pink horrors, but they're getting gunned down really nicely. Good focus fire from the Empire so far. And these pinks are thrown into spears, which I don't hate. Actually getting some good damage. We do have a breakthrough with some Marauders of Tzeentch just pushing right onto the archer line there. One pink horror looks like it's going to be going down here in the early game. Tzeentch Sorcerer just getting fisticuffs. He can definitely do okay against these spearmen, but he does do a little damage to himself overcasting here. Where is he overcasting? What is he even doing? I don't know. That sucks, though. Taking a little unnecessary damage on him. Good dive with the Furies. They're going to definitely chew on these archers really nicely. Empire Knights are out on the field, but these Furies have plenty of time to get back up in the air, which they very much need to do quickly. If they get hammered down here, it's going to be a loss of pressure and momentum for Tzeentch here. He's doing alright in the front line. They are not really grinding through all that quickly, though. That is the problem. Look at these Zangors. They're getting worked on. Taking a lot of damage. Hockland Long Rifles looks like they've been doing a decent little bit of poke. And the Master Engineer's gotten 61 kills just firing in on Marauders and Zangors, popping shields and being very annoying. We do have the Sigmar Sons and Halberdiers mopping up the Marauders in the back line. Zangor's trying to push in behind, but now the Pink Horrors, some swordsmen are on them in kind, and you can just dive those guys back there with the Furies. Maybe help yourself out some. Centaurs of Tzeentch going to chase down the Pistoliers. Pistoliers are so fast, though. Probably not going to be able to catch them. And Free Company Militia getting some good damage in there as well, all the while. Another dive with the Furies. Empire Knights, they're answering the Spawn Summon. Spawn Summon's gotten a little bit of work done. 400 value on this summon isn't too terrible. They've got another 20 seconds to go, and they're drawing some focus fire, actually. Hockland Long Rifles turning their attention to them. And the archers are still getting hammered. There's one very healthy pink horror, but some Empire Knights threatening to collapse into the secondary line here. They can definitely do so. There's nothing to lock them in place. All of the Marauders and the Spearmen are pretty fully engaged in the front line. We do have a breakthrough with the Centaurs. They've gotten into the backfield. They've mopped up the Free Company, and now they're going to be hammering home maybe against these Empire Knights. Really big Infernal Gateway. That's probably going to finish off the Hocklands here. It's going to do some pretty good damage to these Empire Knights who are very idle right now. Although, man, the Hockland Long Rifles are actually holding up really well under that. Tzeentch Army ability, though, going to come down. Going to do a little bit of damage, but kind of not in any one particular place. And gonna kind of whiff. That's very painful. Not really getting anything out of that. It's going to hurt Tzeentch a lot there. Could have been a big equalizer for the value so far, because the Empire very much swarming all over the field, man. The cost efficiency of the Empire State Troopers proving to be a little too much for the Marauder swarms to handle. They've had a really bad time. The Centaurs get absolutely hammered by the Empire Knights. Random Cuban is all over this match, and I think Tzeentch is a little too gassed at this point. Mopping up a little bit with some Centis here, getting on top of the Empire Knights, but the Empire Knights have done their job. They killed the Pink Horrors. They hammered home in the front line pretty nicely. More Empire Knights coming out. They're just ping-ponging all over the battlefield. They do get jumped on by these Centis here. Pretty much for free. The Centaurs are probably going to help finish these guys off, which is going to be good for Tzeentch. But Empire taking the number 2 objective. They have the number 1 pretty secure. And they're just getting swarmed out. There's just too many Empire State Troopers left on the field. They're just going to slowly get overwhelmed. And the Royal Altar of Griffites in the 4th quarter coming out here. They're going to do a really nice job of smacking down a lot of the remaining units for Tzeentch. They're pretty generalist. They've got Glorious Charge now, so their charge bonus is pretty much always active. They've got decent stats. And they do cause terror as well, so the bad leadership on a lot of these Tzeentch units gonna get taken advantage of. You know, it's mostly Marauders. The Centigores, they get terrified immediately, and then they break, so now they can just get chased off by whatever is available. And the Royal Altar of Griffites can go hit the Forsaken, probably. If the Hawkland Long Rifles don't choose to just gun those guys down, it's a pretty perfect target for them. Heavy hitting AP, and they don't have to worry about shooting into shields at all. They can just go for it and rip these guys apart now. Look at the damage on them. And then Empire Knights to intercept. This is really good micro from Random Cuban, taking full advantage of Elvio. Being a little scattered on the field right now. Not really having any center line to like push the Empire out and get on those missile units. That's going to be game, man. Nicely done. Look at the value on the Master Engineer. 166 kills just with the grenade launcher. You know, you can see why him on the steam tank is really abusive. It just gets so much damage, as well as the grenade launcher he fires from the top. It's crazy. Alright, we're advancing bracket, guys. And we've got a matchup against Mikey 5-0 here. So we'll go find our boy. We'll get it rolling. Boom, boom. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I don't think the Lance Knights are always very good, but I think Slanesh can get some good use out of them. And if you use the Plague of Rust and pop that on an otherwise like really heavily armored like infantry unit, then you can get some value out of the lances pretty quickly. Just because their charge bonus is so good. Here we go. Mikey's shown up now. We're going to jump right into army building here. I'll take y'all away for a moment, though. We'll go see... Here you go. This is what the bracket's looking like right now. I don't think I have a chance for top 4. Because I had to buy the first round. And lost against Rusto really badly. I'm probably not going to be able to make it up in here because my tiebreaker isn't very strong. But we'll see. We might get lucky. Somebody up here might falter, and we get a bit of a break to make it in. Oh, and we're going up against Khorne too. Oh, baby. All right. We'll see about it here. What kind of magic do I want to bring against Khorne? I think this is pretty nice. We'll bring this. We're gonna need our front line to not get completely folded up by Khorne infantry. Khorne marauders are very cost effective. They're pretty strong with their frenzy, so they can definitely do some pretty nasty work to me if I'm not careful here. Nah. Whoops. Alright, this is gonna look real janky, but we're gonna see if we can make it happen. Oh yeah, wait. Map. Edge of the Darkwood. Okay. There we go. Oh, cool. It's Mikey's first tournament. We'll flip it over now that we're ready. Let's go. Sweet. Hell yeah. Give it up for Mikey, folks. This is his first tournament. That's the way you do it, is just jump in feet first and hope to God that you win a couple games. He's been doing good. He's actually, he's got 2 wins here. That's pretty impressive. Who's he beaten? Via got him in the first round. Oh, and he beat Old and Washed, and he won second round. No, he lost. Oh, he's getting an extra point for, something. I'm gonna have to actually adjust that. I hate that drops mess up Swiss points so badly, because it acts like it's another buy. So if you beat somebody and then they drop, sometimes it'll give you 2 points instead of just the 1. It's very silly. But we're adjusting that. We brought Kazarak again just because I can. I want to see if I can make him work. We brought a little bit of a wacky little build here. It's not what you'll typically see from beasties. But I'm the kind of player that wants to like try all the weird off-meta stuff and just see what kind of effect I can get out of it before I just like write off units. It's all a learning process. Actually keep the spears tucked in on these guys. I More Sleeve will back him up, and he can, you know, he can net stuff. Very good at that with the warp gazes. He's only got 3 of them, but it's a pretty strong snare. And then he's obviously got the boulders, and the boulders are here to deal with any super elite infantry. You know, Khorne can definitely stick and grind pretty nicely with those. I'll use Kazarek to take the number 1. We'll get up here. Go here. He does have some throwing axes, which is nice for him. This is a pretty solid Khorne army for sure. It's very infantry-centric. These Chaos Warriors and the Halberds are going to be just beautiful. Just an easy target for the big boy. We'll take the point. We've got Valky up in the sky. You always love to see her. Demon Shield and Sleipnir. I don't know if this guy's been taking notes or not, but I like the choices. We're going to pull back here and try and avoid damage and pull the Ungor Raiders forward for the damage. Now the Khorne Marauders are really good in melee, so we got to be very careful of that. They can charge you down pretty efficiently. Get up here. We'll get our own guys screaming across now. And we'll try to beat up on this isolated one. It's a nice little boulder. Misses a little bit. Doesn't clip as many models as I would have really liked to see. But that's okay. We'll take the damage on the Gore Herd. That's fine. If my opponent wants to trade HP here, I can afford to. Let's get nice and lined up. What do we bring out first? I think just some Pestigors aren't going to be bad. And look at the damage that we're getting here. Big damage on this one here. Getting some overlapping fire now, and we're in range of those halberds at this point. And just keep trading. We can just sit on this objective. We don't have to do much of anything right now. Take a more aggressive position. How's the Eye of More Sleep doing? It has landed a couple boulders. Misses a bit there. You gotta swap it as much as possible, or it just keeps doing stuff like that. It's trying to fire at a specific point in the unit. We'll get over there if he's gonna give me position. Need to make sure units are lined up. Kazarek's gonna go in. Kazarek actually has a pretty good opportunity here. We're gonna pull back a little bit with the Gore Herd. And he's doing a good job. He's pulling back there. Another big boulder. We'll get back on these guys here. We're gonna force him to engage over here. He's got Flesh Hounds coming up. Flesh Hounds are really nice. They're gonna do some pretty good work for him. And we'll keep the Bray Shaman over here too. Hit there. We're going to pull back before we get caught here. We do have the Grog Hooves to do damage. We still got the cap weight. We might as well keep the cap weight. Just to force him to retake here. There we go. Alright, now we run. We'll pop Devolve here. Because that's going to slow those guys down. It's not going to give them an opportunity to catch here. Let's get away, get away. Kazarak is actually doing quite a bit of damage in the front line here. Now he's going to run from Valkia. I don't really want to fight her. We're going to kite back. Get over here. And we're going to warp gaze these guys so that my infantry can get out and the Pestigors are going to come forward and do damage to them. Hammer him with a Brace Scream. Valkia is on top of my boy here. I need to get him out. Bring up a Great Weapon. We're getting there. Yeah, Pesties need to get in. Gore Herd need to rotate out. Look at that boulder, dude. Oh my god. Disgusting amounts of damage there. Those are Chaos Warriors. They're also going to do some pretty nasty work to me, given the opportunity. Fire in there. Pesties are going to replace, though. We'll get Kazarak going in. Where do we pop this? Probably on these halberds. push here. We got more of these guys coming in. We're pulling out a little bit. Now we've got the Minotaurs of Khorne here. Bring up more of these guys. We need to hammer in here. Being a little too tardy with some of my micro. But Kazarak's doing some pretty good work, actually. He's being very annoying. Luckily, he hasn't gotten caught. We did get some of our Senties caught here. So we're going to go there. Brace Scream to hit the halberds. Did a little bit. Not the best damage in the world, but it's more than nothing. We got a big break here on a lot of units, man. And Valkyria's kind of running scared now. We can hammer with the Senties, with the axes. I'll turn in fire here. We're going to pop Devolve also. Oh, and we got more Flesh Hounds coming on to our rear there. We're going to charge, actually, the Horsemen. We'll cast Brace Scream, and this is going to hit a bunch of them. Let's hit these Minos. I don't want to charge the Minotaurs. Hell no. Warp Gaze can do some good work for you in dealing with your opponent's mobility. Now we got on the rear of these guys. That's going to be pretty favorable for us. We'll focus our Ungor Fire there. We'll bring up more Senties. Senties can just hammer. These Centigors need to go elsewhere. Kazarak got 100 and something kills pretty fast, so gotta love that. These Senties need to get away now. They hammered in real nice against the Minos. The Minos got pounded pretty badly, and we chased off some of his skirmish cav there. Bring up another great weapon. We'll unsummon these poor little herds. Get the Eye of More Sleep. Actually killed a model there. Chase off there. We're gonna focus a little now. Oh, that's those are Flesh Hounds. We'll pop Devolve and get after them. These Senties rallied, actually, which is awesome. So they can go there and chase. Where's Kazarak? Kazarak is a little blobbed up right now. It's just a bit of a mistake on my part. Nice boulders. Got a bunch of stuff that's unengaged over here. I need to be more on top of my micro with Beastmen. That's one thing I definitely still need to improve on. Gonna get a good collapse there. We'll cast Brace Scream here to do a little bit of damage. Hammer home. Run down. And Kazarak is surprisingly hard to kill. He gets a buff to his spell resistance and a whole bunch of other stuff as long as he's in melee combat. So he's surprisingly durable. He's honestly really tough to peel. We'll just pop Devolve on Valkyria now and try to kill her with the Chariot Goons. Yeah, man, look, the Ungor Raiders have done really nicely for me, too. These guys can get unsummoned. I also gotta just... You got a toolbar down here. Remember to use it. And yeah, we're about to kill Valkyria here. Now we can pull back. Dude, the boulders have been so fat this game. Look at the damage that the Eye of More Sleep's managed to get for me. Chaos Warriors, they're moving up here. Oh, they're shattered, or broken, actually.
Glorious. You have killed
And there goes Valkyria, so that's probably going to be game here. Khorne is struggling a little too much, and their leadership's going to be absolutely horrendous now. We don't need to charge yet. We're going to chase a little bit there. Now that the boulder is landing, now we charge. And we're just going to completely overwhelm these guys. I'm going to get old boy to roll through, and we can turn and fight these Furies. pop Devolve on them as well. It's going to lower their leadership too. And I guess I'm going to just Brave Scream just to see what kind of work it does against them. Not that much, but whatever. Oh, we capped my back objective. I wasn't even paying attention, man. We'll save the last couple stones here. Better to save ammo on the big boy than to just, like, throw it away. And we got Unger Raiders that moved up over here. What is he stuck on? Oh, he's stuck on some horsemen. Come on, bro, turn around. What is going on here? Oh my goodness. This is bizarre. Look at this. He's got one horseman that he's stuck on that he can't get away from. He might actually die because of that. That's so funny. Oh my god. You gotta love it. The game is as it is. See what the overcast damage can do against these guys. It does a little bit. It's not the best in the world though. We can just roadblock him at this point. He really doesn't have enough on the field to take this game. Ah, but he got some sneaky marauders up through the trees here. Very cheeky. I do kind of like the beast magic here, with you know, Devolve being a really nice spell just to slow and control Khorne's pacing. The worst thing that you can see as a Khorne player is you know, CC spells that just like slow your roll, because you want to be aggressive with Khorne. But if you're constantly getting slowed up and your units can't do the damage that you're used to them being able to do, it's not a fun time. Kazarak can fight the Furies here. It'll actually let me click on this unit. We're just gonna chase around back here. Groghooves have done crazy good work, man. They're such a good unit. You can do so many fun things with them. The Centaur Throwing Axe cores are really strong. They really don't have too much to worry about more often than not. Especially if the Groghooves are with them, they can just get away with everything for free. Because these guys do have poison on melee and missile attacks, so it's really hard to get after them. Just gonna use the Eye of Morsleep to go beat stuff up. We'll teach him about snares here. Leave those guys to fight, and we're just gonna chill. We just got all our guys up here. Unsummon to get ammo back.
I knew it.
There we go.
Unending glory.
What'd Kazarak do? Kazarak actually went kind of crazy. He got 2,600 value. Not something that you'll see very often from him. Maybe not the most representative of battles for his actual worth, but I don't think he's bad. I think there's some matchups where he can do good. The Beastmen matchup, obviously not, because he got absolutely smacked down against Rusto. But maybe against factions that have heavily armored infantry, you know, might not be a bad thing to bring. on occasion. I think he might be good against Wood Elves, because he can go run over Waste Stalkers pretty nicely. Mikey has got a tabletop army. That's awesome. Alright, there we go. We're doing a little bit of a post-game breakdown with Mikey here. The length of this map costs you the round. Yeah, why we have maps bigger than Russia? Look, Edge of the Darkwood's a good map, and I will not stand for the slander. I'm not gonna hear it, Scarbrand. I'm sorry. I'll play it any day of the week. And Khorne actually has a pretty good time on Edge of the Darkwood, if you want my opinion. You can do some really cheesy stuff to get up onto your opponent's home objective with elite stuff. And just absolutely manhandle them there. It's pretty funny. I do hear you, though. It's not easy to fight on. And the Eye of Morsleep's really good against everything now, in terms of what it can do with the boulders. It's good against SEs, it's good against monstrous infantry, it's excellent against infantry. Pretty much anything you want to go after is all you can is what you can make good effect out of. Who's Tim playing again? Just so I have a little bit of context. Oh yeah, Dark Elves. Oh, he brought Scourger Chariots against him. Owie. So what happened, Scarbrand? Send me the replay. I'd love to see. Skull Cannons are still pretty decent at counter-firing, like, chariots. But, Dark Elves are really a hard matchup for Khorne now. They've got so many tools against you. After the, I mean, the buff for the Cold One Knights wasn't, like, anything crazy, really. It was, like, a little bit of extra melee defense and some more, HP or something, I think. But they're just so much better now, and they'll fuck you up. They're no joke. Sweet. Okay. I've been yakking too long. I didn't even report the game, so we should do that. I guess. I mean, I am adminning. I guess I should probably pay attention to that some. So yeah, this is the top of the bracket here. I don't imagine it's going to change much. We've got Via, Falling Star, Martin, and Bowl still fighting. Where are they all at? Yeah, not going to make a big difference for the top of the bracket. I didn't make it, unfortunately, because of the first round bye. Didn't really get an opportunity to get the Swiss points I needed. I could have gotten in over Sterngard and Boss Toss otherwise, potentially, but probably not. The competition is really stiff in this tournament. There are some insanely high-level players here, and I memed way too hard against Rust. I made some very foolish decisions with my army composition. Let's reload here. Boop. There we go. I might just go ahead and start pinging people. I mean, most everybody here who's in the top 4 is going to know. At Tim, at Rusto, at Stern, and Boss. And we'll do semis and everything. I'll get everybody hooked up with that. I mean, I know that I'm not going to be able... I mean, if Via wins, I'll be up to 7. That still wouldn't make a difference. I didn't play Bowl. Or either of these guys. But can Navigator end up in the top? I mean, like, theoretically, he could get tied with Sterngard and Boss Toss. Nah, I don't think so. If Bowl wins, he gets another point, but I don't think he fought anybody else that is still playing. No, he beat Random Cuban. It didn't play Falling Star or Via Anime. Via did beat Falling Star. So, well done there. Playing on the Norskins. Norskins are really fun. They're another faction that I've experimented with a little bit. Maybe they'll be next after I do Beastmen and after we play the Corn DLC for a little while. I think they might be my next project. Slick. Yeah, let me take a look at this replay that you just sent me. I think it's this one. Rename this shit. Something. We'll throw it in here. So you're going up against ogres? Scarbrand? Because against Ogre Kingdoms, Halberds I actually think are really bad because they're so slow. They just never get anywhere they need to be at all. I don't even think they're good for anchoring objectives because Ogres will just shoot you to death. Like, I think the best thing you can do against Ogre Kingdoms is to go with just tons of Flesh Hounds and mobility, throwing axes. Throwing axes are surprisingly good against Ogres. I was kind of shocked. I thought they would not be that great, but they've got great weapon strength and good charge bonus, so they can actually hit Ogre Bulls pretty hard. You gotta watch out for the Saber Tusk packs. And, you know, obviously the little Noblar throwing stars are pretty brutal. But if your opponent brings Lead Belchers, Maneater Ogre Pistols, all that stuff, then you need Valkia, Cultists, the Throwing Axes, and just Marauders, man. Just get tons of shit out on the field. And if you can kill the Noblars and stuff, and let the Ogre Bulls have to do all the heavy lifting, then you can probably tear them apart. There we go. And are we done? Is it finally time to advance? It should be. No, Martin and Bull are still playing. I don't know. I think I just advance these guys anyways. At least post it in the tourney chat. Because that final game's not going to be affecting the top 4. Dang. Let's go back to the drawing board. I'm just going to theory craft a little bit of a build against the Beastie Boys. If I were to go up against Rusto, we had a bit of an idea. I really love Malagor, man. He's so cheap, and he does so many things well. I like the double Gorbel with him. And especially when he can cast Enfeebling Foe on stuff, and they can just absolutely whoop the hell out of them with their crazy bonus versus large. That's beautiful stuff. And he's also a decent combatant. He can go chase stuff down for sure. Double Goreherd ain't bad. Triple Bow. Tons of crappy little spears. And then I do like his idea of having a Minotaur in the back. Just to hammer into stuff. Defend dives from Centaurs and things. And just bring max throwing axes, maybe. Maybe I could bring him in the opening, actually. To counter skirmish his own stuff wouldn't be a bad idea. Nah. Just a little short on that. I'd love to bring another bow. That would be sick. Maybe Bestial Surge isn't a bad option here. Nah, I don't think a Razor Gore Herd's gonna be good. More Gore Herd, maybe? Especially on the map we were playing on, I think that's actually not a bad idea. And then you got a Gore Bull in reserve. One Mino. Grog Hooves and another Throwing Axe, and then lots of Senties to hit mobility nice and hard. What else? Hounds? I don't hate hounds. I don't love them, though. They do get nailed pretty hard by stuff. We ready? Yes, finally. Okay. Now we can advance the top 4. We'll back out here so we can see the bracket. So Tim the Wilder, Boss Toss, and then Sterngard and Resto. Maybe Gore Herd? Just don't know. Mirror matches are just bizarre. I don't play very well into them. Just because I don't have a lot of experience with them in this game. You know, I mean, so often you're going to be, like, running into other factions that when you do have mirrors, it can be kind of hard to, like, pick against your own faction, so to speak. Like, what do Beastmen have that is good against Beastmen, after all? I mean, this is what I'm thinking would be a very, like, good meta option for going into that matchup. You've got the Gorbulls that can just go around and be good beat sticks for anything that's trying to push into your backline. Because his Doom Bull was just getting away with murder in my front line. I had the Blood Brute Behemoth way out of position, which didn't really do anything. Double Gorbul would have been a really good answer to his Doom Bull. Malagor could just fly around and drop Flock of Doom all day. Beat up on that Ungor Raider core, and then my Ungor Raider fire, I could have concentrated a little better. Throwing axes, they can just throw in against Minos and stuff that are trying to push in. And then you've got all these Ungor herds. You've got Gore herds. My Gore herd can beat his front line, and I can push against his a little more aggressively. Then I'm not relying on Centigores to hammer home into spears. Because I was doing a very bad job of microing my Centis around the flank in that game. I was blundering them a little too hard. Sweet. Oh, cool. Let's get away so we don't give up the game. Oh, Boss Toss is playing Ogre Kingdoms. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. They're fun, man. Ogres are going to be really juicy when the DLC comes out, too. They're going to be so tough. I really believe that some of the tools they're about to get are going to, like, completely push them over the top. And they're strong enough as it is, they're just so limited. I'm really interested to see what Golg is going to be able to do. And then they're going to have the little, they're going to have, like, the ninja ogres, which is going to be funny. Like, the idea of ogre assassin characters is very appealing, because one thing that ogres can struggle to deal with is SEs and characters, specifically. Like, double cultist for Khorne can actually do some pretty nasty work against the ogres. Because they can get in there, they've got pretty good combat prowess. They beat the crap out of anything that's lightly armored, and if Iron Guts or something go after them, then you can, like, respond by punishing them, trying to blob on top of those guys. You know, you've got Valkia. Valkia can get beat down by ogres. She can struggle with the mass that they can bring. But just having that Eshin ogre character, or whatever the hell exactly the unit's supposed to be, it's probably going to help out a lot. And they're probably going to have some kind of a stealth ability, too, which is going to be funny to see. Tim's ready, Boss Toss, just finishing up the build here, I think. And then we'll be good to go. Alright. I'm taking y'all to the black screen of doom. Just for a moment, I want to see what the builds are. Fat. I'm really excited to see... Oh my god. Tim is going wild here. Okay. Yeah, I'm hyped to see the Dark Elves going up against the Ogres here. What is bro cooking? Even top players can have last-minute indecision with the builds. We've all been there. Very much me on a regular basis. Alright, so here we go. We'll flip it back over once they're rolling. Boom. Here we go, guys. We've got the Ogre Kingdoms versus the Dark Elves here. Twilight Forest is going to be the map. Very meta ogres. This is what I meant by their playstyles, a little rote. They kind of do the same thing every time, but that is a very effective style, you know. I mean, there's not really anything that's super inefficient here. Lead Belchers, pistols, Man-Eater pistols specifically. You've got the 5 Noblars, you got 2 Noblar Trappers here. Tim is going to the High Beastmaster, and he is on the Scourge Runner Chariot. He's got 2 other Scourge Runners, he's got some Bolt Throwers. He has a Bloodrack Medusa, which is going to be very interesting to watch perform. And the Hunter. Hunter is on the Stonehorn here and does have this really nasty missile, man. Pretty short range, but it hits so damn hard. It's got 100 bonus versus large. It's a very underrated unit, and it's going to be really good at clearing out the Dread Spears and stuff, too, actually. Scourge Runners and the Bolt Throwers are going to be the main answer against that guy, though. We do have the Butcher back here with Troll Guts. Is going to have extra ingredients. Bull Gorger is the other spell. And the Ogre Kingdoms will be rocking imminently. One Repeater Crossbow going to go to the high ground there. Going to be nice and safe, too, since the Ogres aren't looking to contest that right now. And what does this guy have? Tormentor Sword and Whiplash. Alright, fair enough. Oh, and this is on, this works for everything. I thought it was just beasts. But, apparently it can also work on Dread Spears. Or, Scourge Runners. Fascinating. Okay. And Tormentor's Sword's going to be really good for locking down anything that gets within range of that ability. You know, it's only 9 seconds. Really not that long of a snare, but any amount of time that you can get free damage on a unit and also stop their momentum of pushing forward is amazing. So, we'll see how Tim the Wilder is going to be using that. Look at these guys. Noblars are hyping up their Ogre brethren. Ogres stoically standing around preparing for battle. And here we go. We've got the Dark Riders immediately going to take the number 3. Bloodrack Medusa and the Scourge Runners are going to do a pretty good job of clearing out Noblar Trappers. I mean, even if you just go in, you probably don't want to use ammo on them, but just using the Scourge Runners to, like, hammer into them probably isn't that bad of an idea. Although the little traps there, it is a pretty significant slow, so I guess you don't really want to do that either in the early game. Let's see what the Hunter can do. Hunter looking for some shots here in the early going. Bolt Throwers starting to plug away a little bit. You saw, like, a bit of a waste there. Getting a little damage on the Noblar Trappers, and the Medusa gets a decent little shot, doesn't kill any models, but gets a little extra poke in against those guys. So, nothing to write home about so far. High Beastmaster took a little bit of damage from something. Oh, Lead Belcher's shooting him, I think. Scourge Runners wasting a little ammo against the Noblars there. Medusa can definitely kill these guys. And then everything else can maybe focus on poking down Lead Belchers and Big Boy on the Stonehorn there. Bolt Throwers so far have done gotten 1 kill on the Lead Belchers, killing another model there. Pretty brutal stuff. Bolt Throwers are so powerful. You know, they actually have a pretty good bonus versus large and do decent enough damage, as you can see, to really poke away at these guys. Killing 2 more models there. Lead Belcher's taking big damage so far. And the Ogres are getting screened out pretty badly right now. Noblar's just in full retreat, taking nasty damage. Little bit of damage, though, from the Hunter. Throwing some of those javelins in here and hitting the Bloodrack Medusa pretty hard. Got 1 good blow in there. And the Noblar Trapper's doing a little bit also. Does he have... He does have fire on the move. Oh, man. You could probably just walk this guy forward slowly and keep throwing at the Bloodrack Medusa and completely, like, remove that unit from the field here in the early going. Noblar Trapper's looking to get some damage in here on the Medusa. And Dark Riders, really nice call-in from Tim, are going to absolutely nail these Noblar Trappers here. Going to do some big damage to these guys. And these little Noblars don't have very good leadership, obviously, so they're immediately going to rout. The Noblar Traps ability does spring on the Dark Riders. And the Hunter is actually going deep onto the Bolt Thrower crew here. Gets 1 nice little swing in there. We'll see what else it's able to do. It's probably going to want to pull out now. Saber Tusk Pack do come out. They got some pretty good damage on those Dark Riders, but now they get rampaged. Beautiful job getting enough damage on them, and they're rampaged into spears. Those guys are not going to be long for this world. Another Saber Tusk Pack. Kind of getting blundered into Dread Spears, and Whiplash does go down to boost up the attack prowess of the Dread Spears. while the Scourge Runners hammer home into the Noblars. Dark Elves are doing pretty good here, man. They're getting some really nice damage on a lot of these very squishy units. The Dark Riders back here, they get on top of the Lead Belchers, but a Troll Guts is going to heal up most of that damage. They don't lose any models from the Dark Rider charge. Iron Guts do a good job of answering there. And the Man-Eater Pistols are brutalizing the Bloodrat Medusa. This is a good little catch here for Boss Toss. Definitely going to be able to grind back some good value in this game. And it is very close right now. But another Lead Belcher back here. Hasn't really gotten a chance to fire. And Scourge Runners and Dark Riders are on top of it. Noblar Trapper Fire coming in to try and peel the Dark Riders. But Lead Belchers are taking the worst of it. They've lost 6 models on this unit. They're very low HP. They're bleeding even more now. They're down to 5 models. I don't know if they're going to be saved. The Lead Belchers back here are about to get charged down by the remains of this Dark Rider unit, as well as taking big fire from the remaining Bolt Thrower there. One is offline. The other one, though, very active, doing a lot of good work against the Lead Belchers back there. And I just feel like a lot of the shooting is just getting shut down really hard for the Ogres, and that's going to hurt them in the long game. Well, the Man-Eater Ogre Pistols have done some pretty good work so far, but there are a lot of Dread Spears around the field now, and I feel like without the Noblars to buffer for these Ogre Bulls and the Iron Fists and everything, it's going to start getting a little unmanageable for how you're going to deal with all of the Dread Spears. There are Iron Guts. They're a little out of position, though. They're a little lonely back here. A nice job with the Dark Rider Repeaters, man. All over the Iron Guts. A little bit of fire from the Bloodrat Medusa. The Medusas aren't very good at killing monstrous infantry, but it's a little bit of extra damage. Any little bit is going to help. And the Iron Guts trying to charge into the Dark Riders, but they break right as they get there. Brutal, brutal work there in favor of the Dark Elves. And they're just going to probably chase these guys off the field, probably. Or not really even bother. They can get after the Hunter now. Hunter's been doing alright. Hunter is definitely making a bit of a difference here on the field. Flattening this entire Bleak Sword unit. Very awesome stuff. Knocking down lots of guys. Brutalizing them pretty good. But in a really scary position with the Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows being here. One of them is going to be able to turn attention to them. They're going to get some very, very good work done here with this volley, I bet. Yeah, taking about 400 HP off of this guy. Just need to keep chasing him and doing damage to him. And the Ogres are in full rout across the field, basically. The Lead Belchers have really not been able to even fire a volley off, basically. 2 volleys fired here. They've done a little bit of work, but they got screwed out really hard by the Bolt Throwers in the early game. Bolty's doing pretty nicely for themselves. Scourge Runners have done okay. They haven't gotten amazing value, but any little bit is going to help here. How's the Beastmaster doing? Also not doing badly. Very, very even and well applied damage across the board from the Dark Elves. They're just slowly wearing down all of the big stuff that the Ogres have access to. Ogre Bull dual weapons get a nice engage against these Bleak Swords, and Lead Belcher Fire, what few remain, are getting some good work done against the Repeater Crossbows up here, but I don't see it, man. The Ogres are just way too thin on the battlefield. These dual weapons are locked in combat against Dark Riders and Dread Spears, which is a terrible fight for them. These Iron Fists are getting pushed back. They've taken a pounding, and there are Dread Spears intercepting them on the way through. They do kind of just walk through these guys. Look at the Ogre's mass, man. It's something to behold. I mean, these guys are just big and large, living life. Hunter, offline, heavily punished by the Dark Rider fire, who are still just applying good DPS across the field on a lot of these targets. And the High Beastmaster getting back in here, man, on the Chariot, firing the Scourge Runner shots as he goes, doing good work against that Slaughtermaster. Wowee, man. High Beastmaster on the Scourge Runner might be a really good Lord option. Look at that damage, man. Oh my god. Taking like 300 HP off this guy with every single shot is pretty brutal. And he fires pretty quickly, too. Kind of like it. Just gonna get right in there and go fisticuffs with the Slaughtermaster now, and might be able to kill him. Uses Tormentor's Sword for this initial engagement, lowering the melee attack on this guy. Probably gonna wheel and deal now. Can probably just get out of there. You don't want to lose your Lord. I don't think you're gonna lose, even if you do at this point, though. Better not to risk it, though. Boss Toss is going to throw in the towel there. Tim with a very dominant performance in that match. That seems like it might be pretty tough for the Ogres. Bolt Throwers putting a lot of pressure on in the early game. The Scourge Runners did pretty decently. Dark Riders did nice. And the Spears, they performed up to snuff. Like I said, nothing here got any kind of insane value. Tim is just so good at putting units in position to do the work they need to get their value back, and that kind of efficiency just wears you out over the course of a game. You know, like it's very difficult to make it happen when somebody is just getting nice, efficient trades across the board of their entire army. So, Tim is going to be advancing to the finals. Let's go look at the other side of bracket. They're probably still playing, would be my guess. They are. So, Tim will be top of bracket, and then we'll have Sterngard or Rusto going to be showing up. I think Sterngard is playing the Chowie. That is who I've seen them playing mostly. Oh, actually just the regular old Dowie. Hell yeah. Alright. Tim dropping the base in that game, man. Dude, I'm so hyped for the fucking DLC. God, it's gonna be so good. Yeah, attack speed. The Hunter, I honestly do kind of like on the Stonehorn there. I feel like the Lead Belchers just got shot down so efficiently by the Bolt Throwers. They didn't get a chance to do anything. They got shut down by Dark Riders also. That is kind of the risk with them. They can get ranged. They take damage and model losses early, and then they get locked in combat by just cheap garbage that can also still do damage to them. Because Lead Belchers have low armor and terrible stats in combat. They can't fight off shit. Like, they really can't. I'll just go show you. Here you go. They've got 26 melee attack and 26 melee defense. It's not the worst for a missile unit, but they're squishy as hell. I mean, 50 armor, only 4,900 HP. They're pretty slow, pretty poor leadership at 60. I mean, 60 is better than a lot of units, but, you know, for something this high value, it's not all that great. And they're just not able to get it done. They don't have any AP on their weapon strength either. And Troll Guts is a great heal, but it is a pretty slow one, you know. I mean, it's got an incredibly long duration of 35 seconds, but it's only healing 0.8% as it ticks. It can take a while for that to come into full effect and give the most healing that it possibly can. And if you're losing models and also popping it on Lead Belchers with their tiny HP pool, they're not healing all that much as it goes. You know, Troll Guts is much better on stuff like Stonehorns and Crushers. You know, where the unit is, like, you know, beefy enough to, like, push through with mass and get away from damage while they're getting the heal. They've got armor also that makes them pretty durable. I'm really curious to know what, like a rush against the Dark Elves would do there. Like, bringing Mournfang Cav with the Iron Fists, with the shields on the front, you know, might be pretty decent to, like, push through aggressively onto the back line, and then you can bring Lead Belchers out behind that to punish answers to the Mournfang Cav, maybe. That's just wild speculation on my part. I don't play a lot of Ogre Kingdoms. But I feel like trying to go more aggressive against the elves might be better. Or Nobblar Scrap Launcher spam. You know, you can get 3 of these guys out on the field. They're cheap. They range bolt throwers pretty comfortably, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look here. Yeah, they do. Bolt throwers have 350 range, and the Ogre Kingdom Scrap Launchers have 441. So you can stay out of range of the bolt throwers easily enough. They're also pretty maneuverable and have good armor. So if they get charged by Dark Riders, they're not going to die. And then you can bring out the Saber Tusk packs to peel the Dark Riders off at that point. Now, the repeater crossbows will be pretty punishing, and you don't have, like, tremendous damage against those with the scrap launchers. But I think that's where the lead belchers in reserve come in. Because you bring the lead belchers out after the bolt throwers go down, and the lead belchers shoot down the repeater crossbows. They can fire against the scourge runners as well. And then I think you use just like shit tons of ogre mass to like body block and push back against the spear hordes and the scourge runner chariots. And I think you'd be in a much better position. As it stands, you know, man-eaters and the lead belchers, they just got ranged. And then when the ogres pushed in, Tim did a really good job of bringing out the heavy-hitting AP and buffering with Dark Riders and the spears to just like drag the ogres down over the course of the game. And the trades just got worse and worse as they went on, because the ogres ran out of steam pretty early, losing all the Nobblars. Losing these guys is pretty much a death sentence for you as an ogre player. What's going on with what we're looking at here? I have no idea. But anyways, let's get back in here. Okay. Oh, I'm farther back in the stream. I don't know why it's not catching me up. So, welcome for the finals, guys. It'll be kicking off here in just a moment. Sternguard and Resto are still playing their game out. We're just idly speculating about the last match. Maybe Hunters on Foot wouldn't be a bad idea either. Although, Stonehorns are just so good. It hits so goddamn hard. Nobblar Thiefstone. As long as you're out of combat, you've got the damage resistance and Unspottable and Stalk, but I mean, somebody just engages you in melee and you lose all that. Bang Stick. Not super good. Loner's not bad, because you can use these guys very aggressively into a backfield. They get extra speed and leadership when they're away from stuff, so they can operate a little more independently. And the range on this ability is pretty short at 30 meters. So you can use them to just like dive deep into that backfield and go after the crews, and they still have good leadership and extra speed to get out at that point. That's really risky against somebody like Tim, though. Tim probably would catch you and just punish the hell out of you for that. So, don't know about it. Magic, you know, the Troll Guts and not Brain Goblet, but Bull Gorger is a good option. I don't think you really need any of the abilities. Blood Gruel is such a good passive heal. If you're just popping Bull Gorger every now and then, while you've got the Troll Guts going also, you're going to get good enough healing on the Slaughtermaster, you don't need to worry about them too much. You generally want them cheap as possible. I do also like the idea of bringing a Wilds Caster and just popping Flock of Doom. You can get a lot of Flocks of Doom out of bringing extra ingredients also. And then you've got another good answer to the Dread Spear spam. You can just wear those guys down. You do have to keep this guy a little bit safer if you're doing that, because you don't have the same, you know, passive healing. since you don't get Blood Gruel and you've got Wild Heart instead. You gotta play a little bit farther back with this guy, but you can pop in and out of cover. He's got a shield. He won't take the worst damage in the world from getting shot at. And just being able to go in and out and throw these down and wear stuff out is going to be really good for the ogres. And you can also maybe bring Pan's Impenetrable Pelt, or maybe the Manticore summon. Manticore summons are still pretty decent, even in Dom mode. You know, because they can go in and they can just beat up on the Bolt Thrower crews for free. If your opponent doesn't send something to answer to these guys, he's going to lose the Bolt Thrower crew. If he does, then you can push up and try and get some fire and punish on the answers to locking those things down. Again, this is all theoretical. Stonehorn with the Harpoon Launcher. It's much longer range than the Hunter. So you can actually shoot the Scourge Runners a little easier, I think. 2100 for it. It's got decent leadership at 70. You can bring the Maw Magic if you want, but honestly, if you did something like this, and then had the Scrap Launchers, just a bunch of Noblars, and then you just bring a bunch of these Ogre Bulls. You know, I think Iron Fist might be a little better. This would be a very similar build to what Boss had in the last match. Maybe you bring this in the reserve. Like, you bring the Lead Belchers out to skirmish the Dark Riders off, and maybe you can save up for the Stonehorn. But, I don't know, maybe you just don't even need that. You just bring the Flock of Doom. You don't really have anything here that's super important to heal. What else do you need? You can mix in the Trappers, and you got 650. You can bring some dual weapons. That can also do some good work. Couple dual weapons, an Iron Gut. I do like the Iron Guts. Saber Tusk Pack are probably all you need to kill Dark Riders, and then you can bring an Iron Fist to go, or not the Iron Fist, the Mournfang Calf with the Great Weapons to answer the Cold One Knights. Do some good work against those guys, potentially. Maybe you don't even need Iron Guts. Just go with 2 of these guys. And then just 2 more Noblar Trappers in reserve. And something like this might work a little better, because you got tons of width, tons that your opponent's going to have to get through. The Scrap Launchers range the Bolt Throwers. You can probably kill the Bolt Throwers. If your opponent's going after these things to, like, attack with the Scourge Runners, then you throw up your cheap answers. They don't mind getting shot up by the Scourge Runners. You know, like, taking damage on the Ogre Bull Iron Fist, they're 650 gold. It's not the worst target in the world to get shot at by Scourge Runners. And then, you know, you've got the Flocks of Doom that you use to wear down the front line. That way, the Ogre Bulls aren't the only answer you have to that. You've got heavy-hitting answers with the Mournfang Calf here. If you see lots of Cold One Knights start to come out, you can bring one of these, and they'll do pretty decently. They're a good unit to put Butcher on as well. But they probably wouldn't even need it. With good focus fire from Scrap Launchers and stuff, if the Cold One Knights blob up on the Mournfang Cav, Scrap Launchers can fire in there and do pretty good damage to the Cold One Knights. Trappers can fire in as well, and Lead Belchers, if you bring them out, they can also do that. I think you just want to go as wide as possible against Dark Elves. And especially against Tim, because Tim loves bringing wide builds. Alright, and here we go. Tim's given us the lobby for our final battle here. Just for the moment, we'll keep it away. That way, I'm not giving up any builds. So, here we go. Sternguard, Tim the Wilder, Grifts at World's Edge, Dark Elves, and Dowie, man. The Dark Elves, they got word. Word got out on the street that the Dark Elves were behind the War of Vengeance all along, so they're going to come and right all the wrongs that they've suffered over the freaking millennium. The millennia since that went down. The downfall was a pretty hard blow to the Dowie. They're very proud people, so they need to get some justice here. Alright. I'm going to rip y'all away for a moment. I'm going to get a little sneak preview. Sternguard looks pretty settled with his build, actually. And I'm very curious to see this match. I do feel like this may be kind of difficult for Dark Elves, but I also feel like they're not hopeless here. They've got some pretty good answers to Dowie missile lines. They've got really hard-hitting AP of their own. They've got pretty efficient infantry. Some stuff that has some pretty good armor on it and also can get out there and fight Dowie warriors pretty decently. Just need to see what the Lord options are. Oh, man. So, Rusto on the Beastmen went up against the Dowie and wasn't able to make it happen. He did send me the replay. I'll probably cast that at a later date. Show it off. Should be a good match. They were playing for quite a while, so something tells me that it was really even throughout. Do we expect bigger balance patch along with the DLC? I don't actually know. I'm not sure what CA's plan with that is. I would expect some kind of balance patch with the DLC. Probably nothing crazy because they did just drop a balance patch very recently. I imagine they did that so that they don't have to work on that alongside the last little bit of crunch before they put the DLC out. I don't have any insider knowledge to offer you, though. That's just what comes to mind. It was real close. Sweet. Did Resto bring Razor Gore chariots? Because I swear by Razor Gores against Dowie. Dowie cannot stop Razor Gore chariots. It takes a lot for them to deal with that. Alright, we're on the black screen of doom for this last little bit here. This is an interesting army composition for the Dark Elves, let me tell you. Not something that I was expecting to see. It might not, honestly might not work poorly. This might go really hard. Tim is cooking something, y'all. Okay, now never mind. Now he's evening it out a little bit more now. Still a little different from what I would have expected, but I'm curious to watch this in practice. Alright. We're swapping back over. This is the finals here, everybody. We've got Dowie. We've got Dark Elves. Dark Elves with, you know, a very wide front line. Dark Sorceress with Word of Pain and Chillwind. Really nice spell kit here. Gonna do some pretty good work. You don't need anything too crazy. And Word of Pain just making Dowie warriors even worse at fighting back against your units. Probably gonna do the Dark Elves a lot of favors. We do have a Bolt Thrower. We've got a Goblobber. We've got Bugman's Rangers coming out. Interesting choice. I actually think they'll do pretty decently against the Dark Shards. With the heal, you know, they've got Liquid Fortification, which is just a great ability name. They might be able to trade semi-efficiently against these guys, but Dowie are going to need to get after them with quite a bit to peel that big missile line, but Bolt Throwers and the Goblobber might be enough. We do have Thoric and a Dragon Slayer that can also go hardcore in the front line. Oh, and on a Manticore. Wow, I like that choice. Manticores are underrated, man. I'm telling you. This is not a Feral Manticore 2, so you don't have to worry about rampages. That's something that I don't think a lot of people know, is that most SE Manticores with a character on them don't have the rampage profile. It's just the Ferals that do. So, you can bring these guys pretty safely. I kind of like this from Tim. And the reinforcements are also of note for Tim. A lot of units that I wouldn't have really thought you would want to bring against Dowie, but reflecting on it as he was making the build, I was thinking that, you know, it kind of makes sense, honestly. So we'll see how much of that he shows off here. Rangers and the Miners, they're going to be moving up to the objectives to try and cap them early. This is an instance where the Dowie are actually going to get there first. It's going to be kind of funny to watch. We'll see what happens with that. Dowie usually playing from behind to begin with. This time they might be able to get some early points and a bit of an early ticket lead, which is going to put the pressure on Tim to be the aggressive one here. How he handles his reinforcement summons is going to be very important. Tim is usually very efficient at bringing out the right answers at the right time, though. Where's his first unit? Ah, more Bleak Swords coming in. Saving up a little bit, and what's the first summon for the Dowie going to be? Slayers. Slayers to guard the artillery pieces. Not a bad idea. The artillery crews for Dowie are pretty squishy. Bolt Throwers got a little bit of an HP buff, or a nerf on their crew, I think. They've only got 40 armor. They've got poor melee attack and melee defense, so if you can get on Dowie crews, you can actually kill them pretty quickly. They really don't hold up that well. Tim doing his very typical build-up strategy. Gonna just completely envelop the battlefield with units. On a Bolt Thrower crew coming out. Very good choice. Gonna be using the multi-shot to wear down the, well, the Bugman's Rangers, and the Rangers are stalked right now, but Dowie Warriors are gonna take a bit of a pounding. Can probably also shoot at the Dragon Slayer here, but is this thing gonna be just shooting into the trees here? Yeah, a little bit of inefficiency from one of the models. Not able to shoot through the trees. They're firing at the Dowie Warriors here, who take it on the nose pretty nicely. Don't really suffer any ill effects from that initial volley. Is Tim really not going to grab the number 3? There's nothing over here, but he doesn't necessarily know that. Dowie with big ranger lines, you know, you can be kind of worried that you're like walking into an ambush by like pushing up here with infantry and just getting hammered. And there's also the Goblobber that's covering the objective. You really don't want to have to push these arty pieces forward. There's nothing that's forcing you to. Like, maybe pushing these guys up to, like, right here, where Sternguard is stopping. Don't go any farther than this, in my opinion. Because the you've got Slayers and stuff that can protect your crews, and that's great. But just Dark Rider swarms, or even just infantry pushing up through the trees to get up on your crews, is definitely something you need to be cautious of. So we do have a pretty juicy infantry corps coming in, and here's one of the things that I was kind of surprised to see in the build is Witch Elves. But they actually do pretty good damage with Witch Brew active, even against armored infantry. And then they're a really good answer to Slayers. Slayers are god-awful against other lightly armored infantry that counter them, like Witch Elves. Witch Elves with the bonus here are going to absolutely shred Slayers if they get into combat with one another. Here comes Tim, finally moving up, getting up on the number 3 here with the Bleak Swords. You know, ceding some battlefield control and just letting the dwarves get, 300 tickets ahead. Tim is definitely going to be playing for the win on value, I think, and then just suffocating the dwarves on the objectives. Dowie have a very hard time of recontesting. So if he can, like, steal this number 1 objective, and the Dowie are forced to scrap over this, and they have a hard time recapping it, I think the Dark Elves are going to be in a pretty good position, but this is where the main Dowie force is concentrated right now. We do have some miners with blasting charges moving up, Great Weapon Warriors advancing. The Great Weapon Dowie Warriors will be very efficient against the Black Ark Corsairs. They can hit against their armor pretty efficiently. They're pretty heavily armored in return. And the dual weapons here have 10 AP, but that's not a tremendous amount. And the heavy armor of the Dowie is going to mitigate most of their base weapon damage. We're going to have to see how Tim is going to deal with the Great Weapon Warriors, because they're going to be a little bit difficult to fight. More Bugman's Rangers coming up. Dragon Slayer and Thoric just standing on the home objective here. Bolt Thrower really hasn't gotten a lot of work done, man. It's been firing at these Dwarf Warriors, doing a little bit of damage to them. Nothing tremendous, though. It's only got 167 value. It's used half of its ammo, just about. A little bit shy of that. It's got 14 more volleys, and at its current pace, is definitely not going to be paying for itself. Honestly, swapping over to the single shot and firing at the characters wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, there's no Felix to heal them up. It is just a Dragon Slayer, and Thoric is going to be really nice to kill if you get the opportunity. Goblobber, dropping some stones, man. Not landing with anything just yet, though. Landing a little short of these Black Ark Corsairs. Tim is microing these guys around, so they're kind of ducking and dodging and avoiding the worst of it. There goes one shot, actually lands. Only kills one model, though. I'd probably save the Goblobber ammo right now. It's not going to do you a lot of good. You'd be better served shooting the Dark Shards. I think your front line's going to hold against these Corsairs for ages. Killing the Dark Shards is going to be a little harder for your missiles because of the shields. I think your artillery would be better served hammering home there. And the Bugman's Rangers fighting in the woods, I don't like. You might as well maneuver them around and use them to focus holding the number 2. And then you just send waves and waves of Dowie infantry forward here to go fisticuffs with everything here. Harganeth Executioners are also on the table for Tim. Just really nice. We got some gyros. Gyros are going to do really nice damage to the Executioners if given an opportunity, and you gotta get these Rangers away, man. Bugman's Rangers, they aren't bad in melee combat, but they're going to lose this to the Black Ark Corsairs pretty badly. They've got very low armor. They don't have great melee attack. Their melee defense isn't quite high enough to avoid getting hit by the bonus versus infantry. We've got some chill winds going down, just doing a little bit of extra damage to the miners and such. Harganeth Executioners get a great engage against these Dowie Warriors. Tim is full on press now. Doing a good job of maneuvering through the front line too, pushing through where the holes are at in this formation. Gonna be able to shut down these Bugmans pretty damn hard here, potentially. The miners get a great volley off against the Bleak Swords here, doing nasty work against them. Dwarf Warriors holding the line, doing their best, but Bugmans get shut down by another Black Art Corsair, and look how quickly they're chewing through the HP on those Bugmans, man. Yep, back here, Bugmans, they lose this fight. Fighting with them in the trees was not the best idea. But the Dowie are doing a pretty good job of doing some damage in return to the Dark Elves. Dark Elves do have a triple cap right now. Dowie are going to have to clear the forest as best they can. I don't love fighting over here, though. I feel like it would have been better to fight on the 3 and the 2 right out the gate. And Harpies get on the gyros, losing the gyros. Very unfortunate for the Dwarves here. The Grim Delvers coming out. They'll be able to shoot the Harpies out of the sky. Not that it's going to do a lot of good for the Dwarves. That's like a decent little catch. It does get Sternguard a little bit farther ahead. But going to have to get these guys into combat and start clearing out these infantry targets. Because right now, the Dark Elves are trading pretty well here. They've got Harganeth Executioners that are just absolutely shredding the front line right now. The Dark Shards are pushing in behind the hordes of infantry, and Witch Elves are doing alright, man. They're getting hammered by blasting charges right now. You can see here, this Witch Elf unit basically gets deleted by one solid volley. Oh my god, that's brutal damage, man. The Witch Elves are going to have to push in and get on top of some other type units. Like, there's Slayers out here. They'll do really nice against the Slayers. Bolt Thrower crew, not finding a lot of targets, not a lot of success right now. It's very far forward, too. Goblobber is doing some good work against the Dark Shards, but the Bugman's Rangers and a lot of these other Dowie missile units are offline and really not going to be providing a lot of value into the late game. Look at the Dragon Slayer getting dragged down over here. I completely missed it. He gets his head chopped off by the Witch Elves. Witch Elves have a nice little trophy to take home to Malekith and show off. You know, oh, look at the Grim Delvers. Getting some nice volleys off on the Harganeth Executioners here. But they might be in danger. Nice use of Chillwind there to get some damage on them. They're very compacted. And the Harganeth Executioners with 34 models. Oh, and supporting fire from Dark Shards. Working down the Grim Delvers so far, man. Doing good work, but they do, they are on guard mode, and they do get one last really solid volley off on these guys and break them. But yeah, a little too compromised for the Dwarves. Tim did a very good job of pushing in with the build-up and getting things through the front line, shutting down the missile line for the Dwarves. Dwarven missile line was very inefficient there, and that is going to cost Sternguard this finals game here. Bugmans just weren't able to get it done. They got locked in combat with Black Art Corsair, both of them, and they got dragged down. And the other ones that came out weren't really able to make it happen either. The blasting charges got some pretty good value, for sure. Nailing Witch Elves, doing some pretty good damage there. Lost the Dragon Slayer. Thorak wasn't able to make his efforts felt across the battlefield, though. And Dowie Infantry, they just got worn out. They weren't able to go toe-to-toe with the Corsairs and stuff. Look at this Corsair unit with 1,600 value. That's crazy, man. Hyper efficient on those guys. Witch Elves came in, they did okay. These two didn't do so hot, but the other two got their value back. Harganeth Executioners required a lot of answers, and they got through quite a few Dowie warrior units before they got taken offline by the Grim Delvers. I don't know what you bring to answer the very wide elf push here. They've just got so many efficient units. And Tim, as always, with the micro, just being able to use these wide-ass armies so effectively is just amazing. Top-tier stuff, very hard to deal with. But I can't fault Sternguard for getting in there and scrapping as well as he did for the initial stages of the battle. Just wasn't able to keep up the formation. It eventually got worn down and compromised, and at that stage he called it at a pretty good point. I don't think there was any way to recontest the objectives and value trade. So, Tim with very dominant performance, as always. Love to see it. 7 value from 1 volley. Yeah, the bolt thrower was an interesting choice. It really didn't do a whole lot. Oh, so it was Rusto in the semis who memed a little too close to the sun. Like I did against Rusto, he did in the semis against Sterngard. Unfortunate for the Beastmen. Beastmen against Dark Elves, that's a pretty tough matchup for Beastmen, but they have a lot of mobility tools that I think they can do pretty well with against Dark Elves. So, I don't think that would have been a terrible thing to see. And I think Sterngard could have done it, but I think fighting by the trees was the worst place to take that engagement. Fighting in the open field would have favored the Dowie from end to end. Too many Dark Elf infantry units were able to just creep up and engage without taking any damage in the early going. And that was kind of the death knell. But that's going to be it for this tournament, guys. I really appreciate y'all showing up and showing out. I'll be back with some more later in the week, probably. Although I think Turin is hosting a tournament on Friday. I might be playing in that. We'll see. I might stream, I might not. But Saturday, we'll be doing our weekly new player tournament. I hope y'all join us for that. Y'all come in, y'all experienced players join, give people advice, answer questions and stuff. And I'll be doing my best to get through as many replays as possible and just give some general advice for everybody as we go through. So, take care, guys. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace out. Take care. Oh, and enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday if you're American. And if not, appreciate America's culturally chauvinistic holiday from afar.